Welcome back to Last Stop Sports Talk. Today is Sunday, April 19th, 2026. And here on episode 116, I'm with Kean Kropp and Carson Kropp, and I'm Cody Kropp. And today we will be bringing you our 3-round mock draft.
Woo!
Big episode here, so strap in, buckle in, grab yourself a beverage, and see what we would do in this draft.
Put in a catheter.
Maybe.
I guess if you're watching on your phone, you can just carry your phone to the toilet if you have to go pee.
True.
I suppose.
Yeah, don't let your legs go numb. That's probably what we should
Yes.
say. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're not watching this whole thing while you're pooping.
Yeah, that's a long one.
Yeah. If your bum is numb, then so is your brain.
Right.
Ah, true. So this is right off the jump here. This is a what we would do mock draft. This is not a prediction of the real 2026 NFL draft. This is what we would do as GMs for these teams. We've all picked certain teams. I'll be choosing for the AFC North and the NFC North.
Mm-hmm. I'll be choosing for the NFC South, my Falcons. AFC East, NFC East.
I'll be picking for the AFC West, AFC South, and NFC West.
Yes.
Boom. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We will talk through our picks and, I guess that's about it. Do the draft things.
Let's pull up the mock draft sim. Woo! That's right. We got it on the screen this year, boys.
We hope.
We're recording right now. We got a screen recording. Is everybody ready? We'll enter the draft room.
Enter the draft room.
And then we have a 2-minute pick timer going 3 rounds, making every pick.
Yeah.
Let's enter the draft room. Get this thing started.
Oh, pick's not in yet. We're waiting on it. Carson is up first.
I'm ready.
Say ready. I think you might have to click ready.
I am also ready.
All right.
All right, number 1 overall pick. It's the obvious one. I'm going to go with Fernando Mendoza. He's all of our quarterback ones. Should be everybody's quarterback one. This guy, he might not be a super exciting quarterback, but he's an old school, reliable, smart, accurate pocket passer. And that's exactly what the Raiders need right now. The Raiders really don't have a bad team built around them. Geno Smith just severely underperformed. And I think that Fernando Mendoza is going to come to this organization and give them some stability. So I'm going Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall.
I like it.
I like that pick. I got the Jets, and I'm honestly glad I got the Jets because I'm the one who was maybe dumbly supporting what they did in free agency because they did add a lot of pieces. So that makes – because they're trying to save their asses, they added a lot of pieces in free agency. Now we need a pick who's going to be ready, like right off the bat, automatically make our team better. Specifically, I'm looking at the defensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at either Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles. I think that Sonny Styles is the best overall football player in this class. And actually in this mock draft sim, he is listed as a linebacker, which I kind of like because he plays in the box as a safety, but he's definitely a safe. Oh, wait, Sonny Styles. Sorry. Yeah. I meant Caleb Downs.
Oh, Caleb
I meant
Downs.
Caleb
I was
Downs.
going to say you're switching up on
No. I meant Caleb Downs. He plays in the box a lot, so that's why I got confused. But and I'm looking at who they added in free agency, and at the pass rusher position, they got Joseph Osai. They have Will McDonald there from last year. They brought in Kingsley Enagbare, and none of those guys really prevent me from drafting Arvell Reese. But Sonny Styles is also the more NFL-ready player right now as we speak. They did just bring in Minka Fitzpatrick in free agency. Mm-hmm. Malachi Moore is a guy who this regime drafted last year. I think they're more likely to go Arvell Reese. So I think we're going to do that because he's a guy who I like him at linebacker, and I think he can learn at edge, which might bite the New York Jets in the ass because they might get fired if he doesn't work in the first year.
True.
But I think Arvell Reese is a unique player that they need to draft, so we're going there.
As the Cardinals GM here, I'm very upset about that because I think that was the home run hit for the Cardinals. But now with Arvell Reese off the board, I'm led to address the trenches here. They don't really have much of a pass rush. Their best pass rush is either Josh Sweat or Walter Nolan from defensive end. So I think a pass rush would be huge for them. It would help out their corners who are definitely good enough to be good in the NFL. They just need to get some pressure on the quarterback. Or I would like to address the offensive line. They lost Kelvin Beachum. They lost Kelvin Beachum, Jonah Williams. Now their starting tackles are still nobodies. They have Elijah Wilkinson. They got Paris Johnson Jr., who never really worked out. Their guards aren't really that great either. They don't have anybody on the offensive line, but last year Jacoby Brissett made this offense work. So I'm kind of hesitant to punish him in not drafting an offensive lineman. But I really think that the offense kept the team in games last year, and this defense needs addressed. So I think I'm gonna kick Zaven Collins to the curb. He hasn't really done a whole lot, and I'm gonna draft my edge my edge 2 behind Arvell Reese, and I think I'm gonna go with David Bailey. I love his explosion off the line. I love the way he can change a game and put a threat on the tackles. So I think that he's going to pair well with Walter Nolan and be opposite Josh Sweat and then help out their good corners and good safeties that they already have. So I'm going David Bailey to hopefully change his defense.
Like it.
Now I'm up once again with the Titans. So the Titans are another team that have a lot of work to do. And I think I'm gonna try to do that throughout the draft here, but they really need help lots of places. Their line, they tried to address in free agency by bringing in Austin Sklotman and Cordell Volston, who they aren't really doing much. They have J.C. Latham at right tackle, Dan Moore at left tackle, Peter Skoronski at guard. So it's not terrible. It could be worse, but it's another team that their defense really let them down in games. Their offense had some explosive points, but
flashes.
Yeah, flashes. But I think that we need to get Cam Ward some kind of help here.
Yes.
I think that Jeremiah Love's probably the pick here, but I don't love him as a prospect or running back. I think he's a later first kind of guy. So that leads me to address their offensive line because I think who they have, they can make work. Wandale, Calvin Ridley. They still have Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. They brought in Michael Carter. I think the weapons are fine for right now. We can get a weapon steal later in the draft. So I think I'm just going to go with my overall tackle 1 and Francis Maui-Noah out of Miami. I love what he brings to the table. He's so consistent. He was consistent all year for the Miami Hurricanes. And I think that's going to help Cam Ward have a little more time in the pocket because he was running for his life. So give me Francis Maui-Noah.
That really sucks. That's who I was going to draft for the Giants because the Giants have seemingly had offensive line problems for as long as I can remember, especially since the Daniel Jones era started. So that really sucks. I was going to draft him, but now there is a big hole on the Giants defense. Dexter Lawrence is now a part of the Cincinnati Bengals. So the thing that sucks about that is that there are not any defensive tackles in this class that I would want to take at 5. So honestly, if this were me and we were doing trades, I would want to trade back. I would want to trade back right now. I know that wide receiver, you could argue, is a need here, but I like Malik Neighbors. They just brought in Darnell Mooney. They just brought in Calvin Austin, Darius Slayton. That's fine. I don't see the need to draft at number 5 overall the best wide receiver in the class. I mean, sure. I mean, it's good to get better at positions of high value like a wide receiver. I know that safety is also listed on here as a need, but they have Javon Holland and Tyler Nubin, so I don't really see why that would be a need. I'm going to lean corner. And there's one guy who I think deserves to go up this high, and that's Mansour Delane out of LSU. Right now, the Giants' starting corners are Paulson Adebo, Greg Newsome, and Drew Phillips in the slot. You can upgrade from that, and you can bring in a guy who I had comped to a little bit slower of a Quinyon Mitchell. So I like the fit of Mansour Delane on this team, so we're going to go Mansour Delane at number 5 overall to the Giants.
I'm up picking for the Browns now, and I'm immediately leaning probably offensive lineman-wise for a team that is, I guess struggling in the quarterback position. Now I know they're young. They just got in last year, but who's it going to be? We don't know. I don't really want to take a quarterback right now anyways. I don't like these guys. I don't think the guys that are available right now are any huge step up from a Dylan Gabriel or a Shedeur Sanders. So I think I'd rather help out my guys there. We could go with a wide receiver, which I'm tempted to do. But I don't know. Jerry Jeudy showed flashes last year of being capable of being a decently reliable and he had some big games too, don't get me wrong. So I don't hate that. I'd rather kind of put more depth in my O-line just in case someone were to go down because it's football and it happens. And if someone were to go down at the tackle position, it might be detrimental to their young quarterback. So I'm kind of leaning like Monroe Freeling or a Spencer Fano. And I think I'm probably going to lean towards Spencer Fano here just to help strengthen my tackle position for the Brownies. So I'm going to draft right now.
All right. I'm up with the Commanders, and this team really struggled last year. They were an old team, and we kind of all saw that coming. Like, man, they're not going to be able to make it to the NFC Championship game, that's for sure. And it certainly rang true. And on the defense, they were just so old. And this year, they really did pretty well in rebuilding, I believe. They brought in Odafe Owe, Kayvon Chason, Charles Omenihu at the edge position. At the linebacker, they brought in Leo Chenal. At safety, they brought in Nick Cross. Nickel corner, they brought in Amik Robertson. They brought in Akullo Witherspoon, too. I like how they've rebuilt this team, especially on the defensive side. Makes sense with Dan Quinn being a defensive head coach. But now I really love how the board has fallen as far as wide receivers go for this team. Because right now it's Terry McLaurin, it's Traylon Burks, it's Luke McCaffrey. They just brought back De'Ami Brown, brought in Van Jefferson. Jalen Lane's still there as a guy who kind of showed some flashes. But I think that they definitely need another wide receiver to go with Terry McLaurin. And my number one wide receiver is still on the board in Carnell Tate. So I love that. So I think that's the direction that I'm going to go. I also love Jordan Tyson, but if Carnell Tate's still here just as a safe option, I don't see how you don't go Carnell Tate. So that's where we're going to go here. Carnell Tate to the Commanders. The Saints are now up, and the Saints, as far as them, their wide receivers could also use some help. And again, we love how the board has fallen here. They have Chris Olave, Mason Tipton, Devon Vele, Bub Means, Jalen Polk. Man, this is nasty looking at this wide receiver core. I'm not a big Tyler Shuck guy, but he did show some flashes last year, so we're gonna leave that alone. Also because this quarterback class is not very good. The defense seemingly always kind of holds their own, and they have a lot of young pieces on that side. So I think the glaring need on this team is definitely wide receiver. And again, I love how the board has fallen, and I want to go with Jordan Tyson to this Saints team because I think that he has all the potential in the world. I get the injury concerns, but as far as talent goes, we talked about it in our My Guy episode and in our wide receiver rankings episode. I think this guy has the most absolute talent in the class, pure talent. And if he can just put it together, work alongside Chris Olave being more of a safe option, not medically. They're both kind of injured guys, but the guy who will just kind of play all over the field, Jordan Tyson, can be more of that splash guy that they lost whenever they traded away. Damn it. To the Seahawks.
Who are we talking about?
The Saints old return guy, special.
Oh, Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid Shaheed, yes. Maybe Tyson can come in and give that explosiveness that Shaheed had. So Tyson to the Saints at 8 overall.
All right, here I am with the Chiefs, and as the Chiefs GM, I don't want to punish Mahomes because he's so good at making anybody work, but I am. I see that they need a receiver, but I think Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton. I mean, he made Tyquan Thornton, Nico Remigio.
Yeah.
These guys work last year. Travis Kelce's getting old, so I mean, I love just thinking about the idea of drafting Sadiq here, letting him learn letting him learn under
That
Travis
would be
Kelce.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go that direction because I think that this team has more glaring needs. Over the offseason, they lost their corners, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams.
Yeah.
And they lost their safety, Brian Cook, too. And that may make you think that I'm going to draft a corner, but that's where you're mistaken.
Ooh, again.
Well, as the Chiefs GM here, I'm going to trust in my head coach, Andy Reid, to continuing to somehow make nobody corners into somebody by putting pressure on the quarterback and getting the ball out of his hands fast. So I'm going to address the edge here. They have George Karlaftis and Ashton Gelati rushing the quarterback, neither of which are very inspiring. I think Chris Jones is still their best weapon on the line there. So I'm going to look to edge here. I think Ruben Bain beside Chris Jones would be pretty nasty, but
Fun.
I personally didn't like him. So I'm going to look a little bit further down the board and maybe reach for Akeem Mesidor. Now, this is the point where I really got to think about what I want to do. Do I want Akeem Mesidor as more of a speed rusher or Ruben Bain as more of the tough, more interior defender. And I think I'm going to go Mesidor. I don't like
Wow.
Ruben Bain that much. The short
Number
arms, the
9.
play style scares me, so I'm going to reach for Akeem Mesidor.
I like Akeem Mesidor, so you're not going to hear any complaints from me. Back up with the Giants. So number 5 overall, they just took Mansour Delane to help out that corner room, and he should basically immediately be the cornerback 1 in my eyes.
Giants got some help coming here.
Giants got some help coming. Again, I would love to pick a guard because right now they're starting Falele from he just played for Baltimore the past few years. That's where he was drafted to, and he's just kind of struggled. And now he's slotted in to be their starter for this upcoming season. But again, I don't love how the board has fallen. I could go with like Vega Ioane this early, but it feels really early. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just. I think right now what the Giants should do is just focus on getting the best players in the building, worrying about position and how everybody's going to work later. So that really pushes me towards Caleb Downs. I love Caleb Downs. Again, I think he's the best player, pure player in this class. You could play him at slot corner, but the thing is that Drew Phillips has been pretty good at slot corner since they drafted him there. But that's the problem. I don't know now. I'm scrolling up and down through the available. Monroe Freeling, I think he's really a tackle, and I don't think he would play guard. Do we go Vega Ioane? I don't know.
I think it'd be okay.
Yeah, but Caleb Downs is still there, and it feels stupid if I let him go by.
I feel kind of stupid letting him go by from the Chiefs, to be honest with you. So
I think
New York needs it.
Yes, and I think you draft the best players and you figure out where they're going to play later. So
at this point,
we're going Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
We're beefing up the secondary with the Giants, and brings us to the Dolphins, who need a ton of help. The Dolphins, I could basically pick any position, and it'd be like, yeah, that's a good pick.
BPA.
Yeah, seriously.
Best player
because
available.
The wide receiver room is Tutu Atwell, Jalen Tolbert, Malik Washington.
Oof,
The offensive line is actually fine. They did a solid job last year. Aaron Brewer was up for the Protector of the Year at center,
You're right,
so he was really good. They just brought in a quarterback. Devon Achane's still there. The defense really underperformed last year. We kept complaining about the secondary all year long. So, man, I would have loved to have Caleb Downs here, but I sniped myself. I think that Dylan Thieneman's the top 10 player in this class. So I don't think this is too high.
No,
consensus would say this is too high, but Thieneman right now, he'd easily be a starter on this team. Right now, their starters are Dante Trader Jr., a fifth-round pick from last year, and Lonnie Johnson Jr. at safety. So that doesn't stop me. Yes, they did just get rid of Minka.
Yeah.
And there's not really a corner. I don't think Jamad McCoy, I wouldn't rank him this high. I don't want to draft him this high. Avion Terrell, I don't want to draft him this high. D'Angelo Pons, I have him as my cornerback too, but I know that I don't have to take him this high. So, But, I mean, I guess that's not the way we should be playing this. But I think
that's what we would do, though.
Yes, and I think that Dylan Thieneman is that good to take him this high. So I'm going to go Dylan Thieneman, safety out of Oregon, to the Dolphins at 11 overall. And brings us to the Dallas Cowboys, a team that last year Jerry tried to blow it up right off the bat with Micah Parsons' trade. But then he did trade for Kenny Clark. He traded for Quinnen Williams. He kind of make it a little bit more sense. And then he traded for Rashawn Gary this offseason as well. Brought in Kobe Durant at corner, Jalen Thompson at safety. But really where they struggled last year was pass rush whenever they traded away Micah Parsons. Again, Rashawn Gary, they just traded for him, but he doesn't really stop me from drafting another edge rusher. Donovan Ezeraku was a second-round pick last year. He was fine. But does adding Ruben Bain to this room make them better is the question. Because I do like Ruben Bain, and it feels disrespectful that he's fallen to 12 so far.
We would have some teams trading up right now.
Yes, there would. If we were doing trades, there would be some teams that would be trading up for Ruben Bain, regardless of the short arm length. Wide receiver, they just not locked up, but for one more year, they locked up George Pickens in hopes of finding a long-term extension with him. Nobody's talking about offensive line for this team, but I feel like it's more of a need because Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton on either side of the offensive line, either and tackle, haven't exactly worked out right. Now, it's still this, I guess it is technically a new regime, but that was an inside hire with whatever the head coach's name is. Schottenheimer. So he's probably got the same philosophies. So I kind of like Monroe Freeling, but at the same time, did we really let Ruben Bain pass up? And I don't think we can.
No, I don't think so.
I think we go Ruben Bain here to help out this pass rush on the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams love that because this Rams defense is stacked.
Yeah.
They still have their amazing pass rush with Byron Young, Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk. They beef up their secondary, bringing in Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie. They still have Cameron Kitchens and Cam Curl at
The
safety,
Cams.
Quentin Lake at nickel. This defense is the only thing they're missing is really a linebacker. And if
the Ravens want to trade up with you. Go ahead. I'm just joking.
and
I know where you're going.
And if I loved
Don't do
if I loved Sonny Styles here, I probably would draft him. But I'm a guy that doesn't really love Sonny Styles.
Sure.
I don't think.
Yeah, Styles would be gone in most drafts.
Yeah. I do not think Sonny Styles is worthy of this high of a pick, and I'm not going to take him here. So that leads me to the offense where they could use a tight end, they could use a receiver, and as a GM, I would really consider receiver because with everything going on with Puka, like there's nothing happening right now, but he's kind of doing his best to turn into AB here. Devontae Adams is old. They really need a piece, but once again, I'm going to punish the quarterback because he's so good at making anybody into something. All he needs is some time, and Warren McClendon Jr. is not going to give him that time.
Yeah.
So I am absolutely stoked that Monroe Freeling is falling here because Matt Stafford's old. He's the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league if he has time in the pocket to read the defense and play with them and all that. So just give him some time here with Monroe Freeling, and he can make anybody work. So I am running to Monroe Freeling here with open arms and giving him a big hug and smooch.
All right.
I like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm up with the Ravens on the clock here, and we got a kind of a plethora of options we could go here too. Wide receiver has obviously been a concern for the past years, honestly, for the Ravens. They've made it work, but nothing crazy.
Zay has made it work.
Zay has made it work.
Yeah.
So that immediately kind of leads me to my thinking. It's like Mekhi Lemon's here. I like Mekhi Lemon, but he's kind of a slot guy.
All right.
So that position's kind of filled. So I'm going to look elsewhere. We can look at defense.
You're going to turn away from, Denzel Boston. This is early compared to consensus, but I know that you like Denzel Boston.
I do like Denzel Boston.
He brings something that the Ravens don't have.
Right. Yeah, he does, and that's very still going through my head, I guess I should say. Because I don't know. I'm kind of with Carson that Sonny Styles isn't really where I want. I think it'd be pretty dynamic with Trey Hendrickson there now, too.
I feel like we're getting closer to that range.
Yeah.
I think top 5, top 10 is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really close. There's, of course, some tackles still there, too, that I might look at, but really Freeling was the guy I had my eye on for these Ravens. I think the Ravens would like to see a receiver in that room, someone who is going to make a splash. So I'm going to do basically what Kian said he thinks I might do and go with Denzel Boston to really open up that room a little bit and give them a little spark.
A little spice. Brings me back up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm honestly, I know I was just shitting on Sonny Styles, but I'm pretty stoked that Sonny Styles made it here.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah. Right now, we got Servassier Dennis.
He can't cover.
Cannot
How many
cover.
times do I have to say this?
Yeah, that guy's terrible. He shouldn't be a starting linebacker in the NFL. And they just brought in Alex Anzalone, who is not a cover guy either, and he's on the wrong side of 30. So Sonny Styles would be something that they don't have. A literal former safety who I think is probably more like a safety, but the guy tackles well. The guy does not really miss tackles, even though he doesn't bring any kind of flash. He brings something that the Bucs could really use. So I feel like this is pretty much a slam dunk pick right here. The fact that Sonny Styles made it here, and Levante David just retired, we're going Sonny Styles, and we're going to feel pretty good about it. So.
Yep.
Brings me back to the Jets, another team that basically there's no wrong picks. I think Garrett Wilson could really use some help because it's Isaiah Williams. I do like Isaiah Williams, but I don't know as a starting. He was okay in the slot last year. Adonai Mitchell showed some flashes as well. Maybe that offense is better with Geno Smith. The offensive line was really good. Again, we go back to the defense because first pick they went with Arvell Reese. So I kind of still want to go back to the defensive side, and let's see who's available. I don't really care about position all too much. A lot of these guys that they signed in free agency are just kind of 1 year stopgaps, 1 or 2 year stopgaps, just to keep us from getting fired. Evian Terrell, I like a good bit. I like D'Angelo Pons. Right now, their cornerback room is Nashawn Wright, who they just brought in, who had a career year in Chicago this past year. He played really well. Brandon Stevens sucked. And Jarvis Bradley Jr. I like in the slot as an aggressive fella who is kind of similar to D'Angelo Pons is the thing that sucks about that. Damn, that's tough. I think that we need to go wide receiver. I can't look in the other direction. As much as I love the story of Adonai Mitchell and what he showed while Garrett Wilson was out, the flashes at least, whenever he wasn't dropping the ball, he was getting open. He was, but let's go see the available wide receivers. Casey Concepcion is there, and I love Casey Concepcion, and I think that he'd be really good for this team. So I'm not my Kyle Lemon guy, so I think Concepcion's got to be the way that I go. I comped him to Zay Flowers, and I would love to have a Zay Flowers on just about any team. So, Concepcion.
Oh, boy. We are back. Not back up. We are first up with the Detroit Football Lions here. Immediately, my brain goes to, oh, boy, we need Sonic and Knuckles back in town.
Ooh.
So, Jeremiah Love's still sitting there on our draft boards.
Yeah.
But I can't go that way. They brought in Pacheco, so that kind of is not as glaring as a need anymore. So they lost some guys on the offensive line, honestly, and I don't know if I really want to go there either at this point in the draft.
Vega, you want to?
Yeah, Vega is there. So we're going to kind of look around maybe to the defensive side. I don't know. It's kind of tough for the Lions. I'm trying to think of some
Dan Campbell
guys. Yeah. That's why there's a linebacker in my head that he would love.
Anzalone did just leave. Who's their starting linebackers right now? Derek Barnes is probably still there.
Derek Barnes, yeah, Jack Campbell, Malcolm Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
So there's a linebacker that I don't know if I want to go at that early. If we're looking at D linemen, we're gonna have to think here. I feel like the D line could use a little bit of a spicing up. Cade McDonald's sitting there. I really like Cade McDonald.
They did just draft Tyleek Williams last year.
Oh, they did.
The drain clogger.
Yeah.
Nobody would be able to run on the Lions though.
No.
Yeah. I might have to go that way. I think we might spice up that D line. I think that's where we're gonna have to go.
Is it still starting across from Aiden Hutchinson? Is it still Muhammad? Or no, did he leave?
I think I'm gonna pick McDonald. Running out of time on my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dan Campbell likes a strong defensive line.
Let's go. It's you again.
Oh, it's me again with the Vikings. Okay, so the Vikings, it says what team needs running back on here. So no, I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah, because they are running it back. Nice.
Nice.
With
Aaron Jones
and Jordan Mason.
Yeah, I really would like to see some freshness in that room, if you could say that. I think that'd make a big difference on this team. Because they're
more of the range that I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love feels okay here, around 20-ish. Because everywhere else, I don't hate. Like, they have Christian Darrisaw at left tackle, Brian O'Neill at right, Will Fries in the middle of Blake Brandel.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think they're halfway okay. And they still got Van Ginkel on the other side, so of course they're fine there.
And there was talk about them trading away Grenard, but they never did it.
Yeah, they never did. They just brought in James Pierre from Pittsburgh. Good for them.
He was actually pretty damn good.
He was actually pretty good. Yeah, Blake Cashman's still there at linebacker. I feel okay. I think I want to bring in a running back here.
Ward fell perfectly.
Yeah, I think this will work out nice. I think they like Jeremiah Love there.
All right. Carolina Panthers are on the clock. And looking up and down their depth chart, I like their offensive line. They've actually performed pretty well. the defense, I like how they rebuilt and spent big money there. Devin Lloyd is somebody who they just brought in. Jalen Phillips to help out Nick Scorton. Could use another corner, I would say.
Yeah, could.
Honestly, I love how this team has been rebuilt. I could use another wide receiver too. Ted McMillan was good last year. Jalen Coker was a wide receiver too. Maybe we see some more out of Xavier Legette. We haven't really seen too much yet. Tight end is also an option. Could look tight end. Could look Sadiq. Oh yeah, yeah. Tommy Tremble and Jatavian Sanders and Mitchell Evans don't scare me away from Kenyon Sadiq. I think this is a slam dunk pick here.
Yeah.
Kenyon Sadiq to the Panthers. Back up with the Cowboys again, and earlier in this first round, they went with Ruben Bain. So, looking back at the Cowboys depth chart, again, I would like to, if we have the option, replace or give a backup plan, provide a backup plan for the tackles on this team, the left and or right tackles. Let's see what we got available here. Offensive tackles, we got Blake Miller, Caden Proctor, Max Ionicher, Caleb Lomu.
Oh,
ground beef. I like Ionicher better than those other three guys I mentioned. So Ionicher might be what I go with here. I don't think they'd take another project in Caden Proctor, just a big boy project. I think Blake Miller has the experience, but I'm not as high on him as Cody is. I really love the movement skills of Max Ionicher. So as long as there's no other defensive player who's really changing my mind, I think we're going to go Max Ionicher. Don't need wide receiver. Yeah, I think it's Max Ionicher. Done.
Steelers are on the clock with me here.
Oh, man, a lot of pressure. Hometown team.
Boy, the board could not have fell more perfect. We got a Pennsylvania, at least played in Pennsylvania, guy here sitting on the board, begging to be picked for an inside offensive lineman here for the Lurs. Honestly, I think that we just need more depth, and I'd like to get a young guy in there. Of course, you could think running back for the Steelers, but they brought in Rico Dowdle. I think he'll be solid for the team, a solid replacement for Kenneth Gainwell. And honestly, the running back room worked pretty okay last year for what was available. They brought in the big swing of Michael Pittman Jr. to the wide receiver room, so I'm not too worried about that either. Defense is still pretty much how it was, and I could look there too. They brought in Jamel Dean. They brought in Jaquan Brisker. So those are the two big moves and the most glaringly obvious problem on the defense, in my opinion, which was the secondary.
Yeah, they even brought in a corner. Yeah.
So it's I think all those moves are solid. So I think this is lining up really well to bring us in an offensive line piece here, which I think
like it.
I think Veguane is the one to pick right here because they brought in Derek Harmon for the defensive line last year, and he works. That defensive line works well. So yeah, I think I'm going to pick Veguane, Penn State guy, for the Steelers here.
And they just lost Isaac Seumalo too.
They did.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, the Chargers are up, and I'm really heartbroken here because
yeah, you could use that.
Veguane would be so good for this team, and but to address the other needs. Now that the top guard's gone, I think that there's a pretty big jump down now.
Yeah.
Our receivers that we're working with are still Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, and Trey Harris. And then we have Rondé Gadsden at tight end. Our receivers could need some upgrading, and Mekhi Lemon's here. But Mekhi Lemon and Ladd McConkey are both exclusive slot guys. So we might come back to that just because I feel like Mekhi Lemon is a steal at this point in the draft and just best available player. But
no, this is right.
But but it's hard because this defense is really not going to be good. Jesse Minter was somehow making this defense functional with not a lot of pieces here. Edge rushers are Tui Pelotu, Khalil Mack, who hasn't retired yet. Deion Henley at linebacker had a down year last year. Our interior isn't good. Our safeties are Tony Jefferson and Elijah Molden. We don't have really any pieces on defense except for Derwin James. And the corners aren't bad. The only value picks here are corners, I believe. I don't like Emmanuel McNeil Warren as a safety. I've never really been a big fan of him. Not a big Keldrick Folk fan. There's lots of corners at this point, and I might just have to go corner because it's addressing the defense in some way. There's not really any edge rushers I love here, so I think I'm just gonna have to go my next top available corner, Jermod McCoy.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You get rid of the guy who just made your secondary awesome, and Jesse Minter for the past few years, or not get rid of him, but he went to go to coach the Ravens now. So who knows what's going to change if you don't get more talent. So I like that. I'm fine with that. The Eagles, seemingly maybe one of the most aggravating teams to draft for every year because they're so talented, and they, over the past few seasons outside of the Super Bowl season, they've underwhelmed. So I know how Howie likes to draft. He likes to draft the trenches and just keep that stocked up for if shit hits the fan. Jordan Mailata is not going to play forever. Lane Johnson was talking about retirement after this past season, decided to come back for one more year, I believe. So we could look at offensive line here, and my highest that I have ranked left on the board would be Caleb Lomu. A little bit of ground beef action. Lomu. That might be the direction we go here. They just brought in Hollywood Brown to be their wide receiver 3 with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. There is rumors, I know, of A.J. Brown. He wants out. There's trade rumors. Nothing's happened yet, and we're not going to make trades in that way. So can't speculate on something that hasn't happened. And as far as guys that they lost, they didn't really lose anybody all that significant. I mean, like Adoree Jackson, Brandon Graham. They're bringing back a lot of the same squad. So again, that pushes me back toward the offensive line that I think would make Howie Roseman happy.
Yeah.
So I think I got to go with Lomu.
I like it.
Lomu. One last check to make sure I'm not really missing anything. Yeah. No, let's go Caleb Lomu.
I'm back up with the Cleveland Browns, and we've already drafted a tackle for this team, so I think that kind of shored up that part of the ball. Defense, obviously very good last year. They didn't really lose anybody, if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, no one that was their starting hot shots. Besides
JOK will no longer be playing football.
Right.
He medically retired.
Yeah,
he's been gone for like 2 years, though.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, so they brought in Quincy Williams at linebacker. That's kind of their biggest thing they did. So really the one that's kind of shining out, and excuse me, and where I want to go is wide receiver here.
Who did you take for them first?
Spencer Fano.
That's right.
Yeah, so we got the tackle. Wow, I don't know what's wrong with me. But this is lining up for a Mekhi Lemon pick. We got Jerry Jeudy for the outside. We got Isaiah Bond inside, which I think Mekhi Lemon would be a nice piece to put in there instead. I think he'd excel with that and help out. He'd be very helpful to any quarterback that they're going to have there. So I'm going to choose Mekhi Lemon here.
Yeah, if they got out of here with Fano and Lemon, they would be very happy.
Very happy. All right, I'm up again with the Chicago Bears. Honestly, they overexceeded last year, as we all know. At least, I don't know, my opinion. I mean, they did very good. And
Ben Johnson put in work that first year.
He certainly did, and they were very successful. So let's scan around this team. Who do you think we need?
Oh, it's worth noting that Drew Dahlman, their center, did just retire at the age of 28.
Yeah, you're right. So we're going to obviously immediately look there. Oh, what centers?
I mean, really,
Connor
Lew.
It's pretty early for Connor Lew,
especially coming off an injury.
Yeah, we might hold on that.
I noticed it mentions D-line here, and I think that's because something that I pound on every year, they get Montez Sweat no help.
Yeah.
Ever.
You're completely right.
On the edge.
Because their offense looks pretty okay, in my opinion. Offensive line, defensive line. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Montez Sweat, not a lot of help. So let's look at some defensive fellas here. Okay. My guy Kristen Miller's there. I like him a lot. Peter Woods is very good. I think Peter Woods would probably be my pick here because I think you can't really go wrong for adding to that defensive line.
You go
Dick
him over
Forrest.
Kristen Miller? You had Kristen Miller ranked higher.
I do have Kristen Miller ranked higher.
Stand your ground.
Stick to my guns. I do like Kristen Miller. He's going to be a difference maker for that team. So we'll go Kristen Miller for the Chicago Bears.
I'm up next with the Billies at 26 overall. They just added DJ Moore. Thank goodness. I love that they brought him in. That's awesome to help with Khalil Shakir. Get Josh Palmer off the field. I think that's going to be really good. That's not to say that they couldn't use another wide receiver, a third starting wide receiver with Moore and Shakir, but not really the biggest need at this point. They did just lose their starting guard from last year I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Oh, shoot.
I can't remember. I'm blanking. But so we could go guard. They threw in Alec Anderson in this depth chart, who was their 6th offensive lineman, just kind of slotted him into start that guard position. Don't love that, and we could go guard, but Pregnon would be the next one I would have ranked up that high, and this is a little early for him in my opinion. I don't think he's a first-round player. Defense, again, always seemingly lets them down, especially pass rush. Greg Rousseau is fine whenever he's healthy, but they just brought in Bradley Chubb and convinced themselves that, yeah, he's going to be good.
Right.
So, don't love that. So let's look at edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to edge.
It's time to edge. Cassius Howell, TJ Parker, not a Zion Young guy, not a Keldrick Falk guy. I don't love how the edge class is shaking up right now as we speak. Honestly, Derek Moore would be my next one that I have ranked this high, but I don't think he should go this high. They did just lose Matt Milano.
They did.
I do love how Maxwell Hairston played at corner this past year. Maybe this is a Cassius Howell spot because Bradley Chubb is a bigger guy. Greg Rousseau is a bigger guy.
Yep.
Michael Hoyt's a bigger guy. I think we go Cassius Howell to really diversify this edge room. Let's go that.
Word. I like it.
All right, I'm finally back on the clock again with the 49ers. 49ers here, and all this time that I've had to evaluate, have 2 glaring needs. Number 1, the offensive line. Trent Williams is on his last leg. Their starting guards are Connor Colby, Dominic Pony. Their center is Jake Brendel. Their right tackle's Colton McKivitz. And then I can't remember last time the 49ers had a good edge rusher. Like, yes, they have Nick Bosa.
Mm-hmm. Come on, I was going to say,
yeah.
but he hasn't been like the difference maker that you've wanted out of the edge room.
He hasn't been in the group with TJ Watt,
Myles Garrett. Yeah, exactly. Sure. So, in my opinion, I think Nick Bosa has been underperforming. And on the other side, opposite him, they have Michael Williams, who, I mean, he's young yet. He has some time to come into his own, but they could use some edge help. And then they have Alfred Collins in the middle. They could use help in the middle as well. So, really just looking at the best available options here. There are not any offensive linemen that I love. Is Max Yonicher still there?
Nope. No. He gone.
Yeah, there's
not a Blake Miller fan?
No, I don't really like Blake Miller. I have him ranked as my offensive lineman 11. Is Caleb Lomu still there?
Nope. He gone.
Here you go.
Okay. Yeah, so that brings me to, oh my goodness.
Big man Proctor?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to take Caden Proctor here. This is lining him up perfectly to learn under Trent Williams. Caden Proctor's a project that has huge upside.
He can move.
And he can move. So bring him here to learn under Trent Williams is a home run.
That's a Niners
Love
guy.
that. Texans.
Okay,
3
up
picks in a
with
row.
the Texans here. Texans, talking about teams that have had needs for a long time, the Texans need an offensive line. And C.J. Stroud has been hurting bad because of it. Cody must have given it to me. Their left tackle, Ariante Ursary, that's fine. Right tackle, Braden Smith, I'd say fine. Jake Andrews is center. I'd also actually say fine.
That's Bills guy.
What?
That's the guy that came from the Bills.
Jake Andrews, yeah. They bring in Wyatt Teller. That's another fine. Ed Ingram, the fine probably ends right there.
It's the same thing they did last year. The
Yeah.
exact same thing.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that offensive line is probably the play for the Texans. They could use a running back, depending on how much you love David Montgomery, but I think that's another fine. So the defense, they have enough talent there that D'Amico Ryans can make that work. They don't need a first-round pick there. I mean, the obvious thing here is offensive line. Yeah. So looking to guard. Checking out, let me see what available offensive linemen are left here. Now, I am open to taking a tackle because some tackles can move into guard.
Jennings Dunker.
Jennings Dunker's a guy that needs to move to guard or even center.
Yeah.
So I like that. He kind of fits the D'Amico Ryans mindset in my mind. And then
just great hair.
And yeah, great and hair. Then also Emmanuel Pregnon is there.
He is.
I have Jennings Dunker ranked 1 ahead of him.
There you go.
And I think for that reason, as well as just the versatility that Jennings Dunker brings, and like you haven't seen him play at in the interior yet, so
yep.
I think that his upside is huge, and he fits the Texans mold well. So
huge.
Now moving on to the Chiefs again. So the second first-round pick for the Chiefs. Last time I picked Akeem Mesidor to play on the edge, probably a reach. But here we are again. I think that the edge room is addressed. They still probably could use a wide receiver. And this is an area where I'm more okay with taking a wide receiver. But last time I addressed edge to try to address corner a little bit. And now I think I'm in the perfect position to address corner. You get rid of Trent McDuffie, what guy would you rather bring in than a guy like Avion Terrell? He's Kian's corner 3, my corner 4, Cody's corner 2. I think this is a slam dunk for the Chiefs. Andy Reid's going to love Avion Terrell.
He's going to eat it up.
He's a playmaker, too. He's good at blitzing.
Man, he's great.
And Andy Terrell loves those corner blitzes. So, yeah, slam dunk for the Chiefs right there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually fired up because you taking Avion Terrell actually just reminded me that my number 7 player in the class is still available, and this is a Miami Dolphins defense that needs playmakers. I love D'Angelo Pons.
Oh,
and
the Pons.
On this depth chart, we're still starting. We're still starting Storm Duck, Daryl Baker Jr., and Jason Marshall Jr., a 5th-round pick from last year.
I remember him. Not good.
Not good. So I think this is a slam dunk D'Angelo Pons pick right here. Or I was thinking wide receiver, and let me scan through the wide receivers real quick just to make sure. No, I don't think there's any. There's nobody that I have ranked even close to as highly as Pons. I mean, Surratt. I like Surratt a lot.
Sure.
But sorry, Malik Willis. We're going with D'Angelo Pons. Here we go. I don't care how low he is in the ADP. To the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Obviously, I feel like it's been talked about, the Will Campbell thing. Do you draft another tackle to try to kick Will Campbell inside? I feel fine with the addition of Elijah Vera Tucker that they just made. I like that he has that tackle guard versatility that he's done in the NFL. I think that's worth something. Wide receiver, they just brought in Romeo Doubs to go along with Mac Hollins and Kyle Williams, and they're fine there, basically. I'm not going to read through every single name that they ever use because they use a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Their edge rushers, Harold Landry was fine last year. Draymond Jones, they just brought in. This is like his 3rd team in 2 years or something. So that should tell you everything you need to know if we wanted to go edge, which I might be down for. The edges that I have left, the best ones on my board would be TJ Parker. Ooh. I love that TJ Parker's still here. Derek Moore, Jayshawn Barham. It's pretty early for those guys. But I do really like the idea of bringing in TJ Parker to this team because really everything else on this defense, they held their own last year. And obviously they made it to the Super Bowl, so Vrabel coaches them up well. But let's get another edge rusher in here and go TJ Parker.
Okay.
I think he's first-round worthy like this. This is a good range. Yeah, I know. You don't feel that way.
All right.
Young. I know he's going to come off the board really soon.
So the Seahawks brings me to the Seahawks didn't lose a lot of pieces, just big ones. They lost Kenneth Walker on the offense. That's the only change. They need a running back because Zach Charbonnet's hurt as well.
Yeah.
But this is too early for the running backs in this class, and we have 2 more remaining picks at 64 and 96. So look for me to take a running back there. But the other pieces they lost, Boy Mafe on the edge, Tariq Woolen at corner, and safety Kobe Bryant. To me, as long as he's still there, Please be there. He's there. My corner 3 here is an absolute slam dunk for this team.
Yeah.
You lose Tariq Woolen. Pairing up Devon Witherspoon and Colton Hood is a lethal tackling duo.
Josh Jobe had a good year last year, too.
Yeah, that's going to be an insane duo. Then you got Julian Love at safety, Nick Emanwari at nickel. This defense does not skip a beat from last year.
Doesn't quit.
No.
So, yeah, and then also look for me to take an edge the later rounds if that falls. But for right now, I'm going Colton Hood. Sneaks into the first round.
I love it.
Sure. So back up with the Jets again. Their third pick in the first 33 picks as we start round 2. First round, second overall, they went Arvell Reese, and 16th overall, they went Casey Concepcion. So looking back at the depth chart, I kind of just want to go BPA here.
Yeah, I was going to say, is the depth chart still shallow?
We can still use a corner.
Yeah.
We can still use a corner. So let's look at the corners available. Cisse, pull up my rankings here. My next available corner would be Traden Stukes if they need a slot corner. I don't really think they do because I'm fine with Jarvis Brownlee Jr. They traded for him. This regime traded for him.
Yeah.
So Keith Abney would be the next one on my board. Keith Abney is a guy who we didn't really talk about, but I still think he's kind of smaller and would probably play slot. So that brings me to my next outside corner would be Cisse. And I think I might be okay with that here, going Brandon Cisse. Let me just check down through to make sure there's no other position that I really want to attack. Lee Hunter's looking right there at me, but they don't need him. Javondre Sweat and David Onyemata. So let's go Brandon Cisse to bring in another outside corner. So
Okay.
All right, I'm back up with the Cardinals here. At 3 overall, the Cardinals went David Bailey to address the defensive line. And I think that's really okay for me right now. They could use a linebacker. They're working with Mac Wilson Sr. and Kobe Simon. So
that was a name that I forgot about. Ohio State linebacker last year.
So this is a spot that I might like Jacob Rodriguez.
Woo, yes.
But just to keep looking a little bit, they need some offensive line help too. Their starting tackles are Paris Johnson Jr., Elijah Wilkinson. Then at guard, I don't like Isaiah Adams there either. So I could go offensive line here, but I think that really solidifying this defense can keep the team in games. I think getting a playmaker like Jacob Rodriguez is one that can win games for you. Him paired up with Budda Baker back there.
I love that.
It's going to be incredible. And then David Bailey coming off the edge. Oh, man. So I'm gonna try to – we'll have one pick left of this mock draft at 65, so maybe we'll try to address the offense there. But for now, I am finding Jacob Rodriguez. There he is. Pretty far down there, but this is a reach that's well worth it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to my Titans here. In the first round, the Titans went with Francis Maui Noah, addressed the offensive line. That was much needed. And now we still have a lot more needs. We have more offensive line needs. We could use an edge, Jermaine Johnson, and
Oluwafemi.
Yes, that guy.
That guy.
We could use a center. I mean, there is a lot of stuff we need here. Linebacker even. So this is a team that I'm thinking best player available. Kean, just out of curiosity, who is your highest ranked top 150?
Top 150? Just BPA?
Yes.
Okay.
And is there anyone that's fallen on your rankings?
So let's see. Sorry, I'm scrolling way up. I have Downs, Reese, Mendoza, Maui Noah, Delane, Tate, blah, 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 blah. Bing, 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 bing. Surratt would be my highest. Surratt at number 22.
Yeah, who's next after him? Because I think he could.
Caden Proctor gone.
Yes.
Jeremy Bernard would be next then. Traden Stukes.
Stukes.
Pregnon. Lee Hunter.
Yeah. See,
Blake Miller.
Yeah. Well.
Zachariah Branch. Omar Cooper.
Yeah. The problem is, you know what? I think I'm really between Emmanuel Pregnon here and Connor Liu.
Yeah.
I think both those guys are going to work wonders in the run game for this team because I don't think I'm going to address running back here. So I think addressing the offensive line, it's just a matter of who do I want. Connor Lew coming off an ACL tear, and I think center might be a little bit early here, so I'm going to go Pregnon, that big boy sumo wrestler on the offensive line. And now I'm back with the Raiders. The Raiders are already looking up. We have Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
This team is already leap years better than it was 30 minutes ago. So the next need, Fernando Mendoza needs some weapons, I think.
Yeah.
And a little bit of an offensive line. His right tackle is DJ Glaze.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then his blind side is Colton Miller.
Colton Miller's good. Colton Miller's very good.
What do you think about Spencer Burford?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, well, their center and right guard are good. Tyler Linderbaum, they
Yes.
brought him in. Jackson Power Johnson, looking good there. So I'm gonna check out tackles and weapons for Fernando Mendoza here. Top available tackles, we got Blake Miller, we got Caleb Tiernan. Don't like him. I don't like really any of these tackles outside of maybe Blake Miller. Blake Miller would be my next highest ranked.
Mm-hmm.
And then guards, don't love anybody who has reach. All right, so now they got Brock Bowers, they got Ashton Genty. So really the only other weapons we need to address is wide receiver. Looking at the top available receivers here, oh boy, it couldn't have fallen any better. It couldn't have fallen any better. Now, Omar Cooper Jr. is the top ranked, but us three, we have two triple my guys in our rankings this year. One of them being Elijah Surratt, who is our number 4 overall receiver. To get him at 36 overall
with his
quarterback,
quarterback,
an absolute steal, and reuniting him with Fernando Mendoza is even better.
Wow. Oh man,
I couldn't have drawn this up any better. Wow. Honestly, so Elijah Surratt, this is another running to him with open arms and a hug and a kiss.
Yes,
I love that for the Raiders.
You're gonna pick Coach Signetti with your next one?
Yeah.
I love that.
I wish I could.
Oh my gosh, to be a Raiders
perfect.
fan in this universe
Man.
would be awesome. Okay, again with the Giants, and in the first round, number 5 and number 10, we just blew the pants off the secondary in a good way.
In a good way.
Delane and Downs. So secondary's good. Maybe one of the best in the league now.
Yeah.
We could look linebacker. Micah McFadden and Tremaine Edmonds they're not blowing the pants off of anybody.
True.
Tremaine Edmonds has kind of been a disappointment since he was drafted in the first round way back in the day. So could look a linebacker. My next available linebacker would be Josiah Trotter. If we can get Tremaine Edmonds to kind of drop back in coverage more and just be a humongous human being, blocking passing lanes, get Josiah Trotter smashing downhill, that could be a lot of fun. Okay, but never mind. Defensive tackle, we need to go defensive tackle. Now, we're now in the range that I think Lee Hunter is okay. So
okay.
I'm going to go with my guy for me, Lee Hunter, to definitely not going to do everything that Dexter Lawrence does, but hopefully can fill some of those holes that he left being traded to the Bengals. So Lee Hunter.
All right, I'm back up with the Texans. Previously, at 28th overall, the Texans took Jennings Dunker for their offensive line. And now, this is a range that's a little bit closer to where I'm comfortable taking a running back, but I still think that this is way too high for the class. So I'm going to look onward there. They could use a center. They're working with Jake Andrews. They could use some guards to replace Ed Ingram. I'm actually fine with Jake Andrews. I take that back. I don't really want to replace Ed Ingram here. But there's not any guards that I love in this range. Our highest ranked guard left would be probably Kalen Rutledge. And, well, that's mine. Chase Beyonsis is there. Or we could go the defensive line. They got Tommy Togiai. They got Sheldon Rankins. He's old. Got to be old. So I'm going to just look at the best available here. We got C.J. Allen, Keldrick Falk. Blake Miller's there still. That could be good for this team, but Ariante Ursary and did Braden Smith do good last year?
Yeah, he was. Well, Braden Smith.
He's coming from the Colts.
Yeah, Braden Smith has been solid most of
Okay.
his career.
Yeah, so I mean, but this team could use more offensive line depth.
I don't think Blake Miller can play inside though.
I don't think so either. But Yeah, there's not really anyone else I love here. So maybe I just look to the defense. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm taking here. An interior defender
Yeah.
who I think
Is the best in the class, in your opinion.
no, not the best.
Oh, no, second.
That's Katie McDonald. Who D'Amico Ryan's going to have a heyday with. That is hopefully I'm
Run out of time.
here.
Run out of time.
Caleb Banks. He's a huge guy that's
yeah.
a project, super fast. I think that's going to be amazing to pair up with Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter.
Cody, welcome back to the draft.
Thank you. I am back. I fell asleep for a little bit there. I'm back with the Cleveland Brownies. I think for our third pick, we got Mekhi Lemon and Spencer Fano so far in this draft. So we shored up 2 positions there, I think, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to look around. I was kind of scanning over the offensive line during my nap, and I'm fairly okay with it. They made some moves to bring some guys in.
Yeah,
like
they
you got
did.
Elton Jenkins in center now. You brought in a Zion Johnson, and you brought in Titus Howard for your right tackle there. You still got DeJuan Jones. He was at Supercross in Cleveland. That was pretty cool.
Whoa!
Nice. So is
Yeah.
Shador Sanders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, DeJuan Jones was on the track doing,
nice.
He would be
did the
easy
fire me
to
up
see.
thing. Yeah.
Easy to find.
Big
That guy's
boy there.
Humongous.
Yeah, so I think we're pretty good there. So I was looking over my defensive line, and I feel like I'd be an idiot if I didn't take someone like Peter Woods here. That's kind of, I mean,
Mason Graham.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I think that'd be pretty solid. So I think that's how I am leaning here, unless I am missing something. Well, the linebackers are great. I mean, really, their whole defense is good. This is kind of more of a depth pick for defense, and hopefully develop him into someone good there. Opposite Myles Garrett is Alex Wright. Do we have anything we'd want to do there?
You like Keldrick Falk more than we do.
I do. Let me see here. Don't run out of time. You can't have too many edge defenders in the NFL. I'm going to take Keldrick Falk for the Cleveland Browns to work opposite Myles Garrett here.
All right, I'm back up with the Chiefs once again. I previously took Akeem Mesidor and Avion Terrell. So this defense is already looking spectacular, in my opinion. So this leads me, they could use another corner, I guess, that is for sure. Kader Kohu, was he actually pretty decent on the Dolphins last year?
He was out all last year for the Dolphins, but yeah, he's a good nickel corner.
Okay. Because I could take Traydon Stukes here for the slot. But there's a guy that I don't know if he's going to fall to 74. Knowing who I'm drafting with, knowing my other GMs, I think he might fall to 74. So I'm gonna not take him here.
Risk.
And hopefully he falls. But so that leads me to address the offense, because I've neglected Mahomes for long enough in this draft. He needs some receiver help or tight end help. So looking at the available receivers here, we got Mark Cooper Jr., Jeremy Bernard. Those are really... Zachariah Branch would be fun on the Chiefs. I don't love that, though. So our highest consensus receiver looks like it's going to be Jeremy Bernard. He's our consensus 7. He's also my 7. I mean, I can see Jeremy Bernard working out here, but I think I'm going to go for the more exciting, more reachy pick. And that's Travis Kelce's old.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I think one of the best receivers left on the board here is actually a tight end. So I'm going to reach for Michael Trigg here.
I love that.
I think Mahomes can get Trigg's full potential out of him and make him into an absolute superstar. So I'm taking Trigg here with the
Nice.
Chiefs.
I'm up with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Pulling the trigger.
Our first pick
yeah.
here for the Bengals. So obviously they just made a big trade. They got Dexter Lawrence into town, and Trey Hendrickson's gone. They brought in Boye Mafe from the Seahawks. So it's always talked about the offensive line is terrible for Joe Burrow. So we're going to look there and see what we got. Blake Miller sitting there for me. I don't think I would hate that. Kean, where'd Blake Miller play? Was he left or right?
Right.
Right.
His whole career.
Okay. I do like Blake Miller quite a bit.
Who's their right tackle?
Amarius Mims.
Yeah, he's
He
rookie
sucks
2 years
anyways. He
ago.
can play left.
He was a project whenever they drafted.
Yeah,
He still is a
You're
project.
still learning. Go to the other side and learn.
I think this would be. I have Blake Miller at my 5 offensive lineman, so I feel like
Who's
this-
their left tackle?
Orlando Brown Jr. from
Oh, okay,
KC.
yeah.
So
They still have 2 projects on their hands.
they do.
And Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is still there. I see need for his safety. Or who are they starting at safety now? Is it still Geno? No. He's
No,
gone.
Geno Stone left.
Brian Cook.
Okay. Oh, they did just bring him.
Yeah,
Not
from
bad.
KC.
Not
Yeah.
good.
So that's why I was looking at offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Blake Miller.
Yeah.
I like him too much, and I think he'd be a solid fit there for
Sure.
Cincy.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, when the Saints come marching in.
Again.
Yeah, again. So, first round, they took Jordan Tyson. Love that. That's a great pick. That's a
Great pick.
Great pick. And now I was looking at edge rush is what I really want to look at. And we could do something really exciting because I feel like I've been reading the same full defensive line for the past 2 or 3 years for the Saints, and that's a problem because they're not good. Chase Young starting at edge, Carl Grandison starting at edge, and then the interior is Brian Brzee, Devon Godchaw, and Nathan Shepard. I'm tired of seeing those names, and they haven't been producing all that much. So we want to bring in a missile. They just brought in another missile, and Caden Ellis actually brought him back from Atlanta. He was drafted by, or maybe not drafted, but he originally played on the Saints. One of the best blitzing linebackers in the league. Let's get another fantastic blitzer. Yeah, a project who needs to learn how to play the position, but this guy's super exciting. I think we need to go get Jayshawn Barham.
Oh,
This would be super fun.
Okay.
You got 2 missiles
Yeah.
trying to penetrate the offensive line, and Caden Ellis and Jayshawn Barham.
Man.
So, yeah, this is really early for him.
That'll be fun, though.
It could be very fun. Yeah, 80. His rank right now is 102 on this big board.
Psh.
But I think this could be really fun and bring some excitement to this defense. So Jayshawn Barham at 42 overall
wow.
brings us up to the Miami Dolphins again. Miami Dolphins so far have blown the pants off of their secondary as well. Dylan Thieneman and D'Angelo Pons.
Wow.
I love
Great
that.
picks.
And I was looking at, for Miami, in my little time off, I was looking at wide receiver. So, wide receiver, again, Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell. Sorry, Malik Willis. We're going to help you now. Omar Cooper Jr. is still there. I like Jeremy Bernard better. Omar Cooper Jr. is getting a ton of hype, though, and I think that Malik Washington can do everything that Omar Cooper Jr. can do. So, I want Jeremy Bernard, who I feel like is one of the most underrated wide receivers in this class, honestly.
I agree.
This guy's just good, and I think he made Ty Simpson look good, and he doesn't get enough credit. So Jeremy Bernard is going to be great on this team as a just kind of do-it-all wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets, again. These teams, I swear. The Jets went with Arvell Reese, Casey Concepcion, and Brandon Cisse. So I kind of want to just go, who's going to make the most difference for my team? Who's going to make my team better? Because there aren't any super glaring needs on this team. I don't want to draft a quarterback yet. I guess, we already got wide receiver, got corner, edge. Let's see who's going to make the biggest difference here. Let me go through my big board.
Ooh, okay.
Go to the big board.
board.
Go to the big board. And we still have available, let's see, Trig is gone. I should have been marking these down. That would have been helpful. Traden Stukes. Again, not exactly like a multi-positional player. I mean, he could play safety, I guess. Denzel Boston, drafting 2 wide receivers. Let's see who's available here. Scrolling down through this big board here. Man, it's tough. Honestly, I just want somebody who's going to make a difference. Who's going to make my team better.
What do we want? A guy worth fighting for.
A girl worth fighting for. Maybe we go Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah.
He could play the slot. Casey Concepcion on one side. Garrett Wilson on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Traden Stukes is just such a damn good football player. Oh, man. That's tough.
We're running out of time, though.
Yeah, let's go with
Oh.
Omar Cooper Jr.
Whew.
Buzzer beater.
A buzzer beater. Honestly, the Jets could use anybody.
Yes.
We know this. Okay, so I'm back up with the Baltimore Ravens here. And so far, who have we picked? We made one. We got Denzel Boston in the first. And we're going to be... I was looking there. And what kind of struck me is I think I'd kind of like a linebacker. There's a linebacker out there that I think I would still like, especially at this time. And that guy goes by the name of C.J. Allen from Georgia. I think he could make a difference in that linebacker room. Of course, they have Roquan Smith. We know that. They got Trey Hendrickson on the edge. They got Tavius Robinson and Teddy Buchanan at our other linebacker/edge spots. So, I think that C.J. Allen would probably be the pick here. Their offensive line is obviously looking okay, like I talked about before. It's not too bad, and that's not really ever a huge issue with Lamar's abilities.
Except for last year.
I know, last year was rough, so I don't know what was going on there, but there's really no guards that I like. The next guards that I would like here would be like a Chase Besantis. Let's see who else would even be. That'd be like the next guy. I mean, we could look at center, like a Connor Liu here. I do like him, but I think
they did just lose Linderbaum.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're as high on him as me.
I'm not as high. That's why I think I'm going to go
stick to your
C.J.
guns.
Allen.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit higher on him, and their linebacker room's nothing special, so we're going to add C.J. Allen into the mix.
Sure. I'm back up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First round, they went Sonny Styles. And now, tight end is one of the needs on here with Cade Otton. There aren't any tight ends that I absolutely love here.
Yeah.
Eli Stowers, I still feel like he's kind of limited. He is different than Cade Otton, so that would be a cool addition to like an almost wide receiver. I was looking at edge. Right now they have Yaya Diaby and Al-Qadim Muhammad, so we could definitely add or make an addition there. And my next available edge would be Derek Moore, and I think that he brings something different than Yaya Diaby and Al-Qadim Muhammad do. Al-Qadim Muhammad's more of like a length guy, wins with length. Yaya Diaby's more of like he's built like a muscle hamster. And he's slowly gotten better over the years, but still nothing special, which is why we're looking here. And I think I'm going to go Derek Moore. I have him as my edge number 6. I think he's just kind of a guy who's really good using his hands. Didn't get to talk about him on the edge episode. Everybody else is really low on him. Carson is especially, so he probably wouldn't even get drafted in these first 3 rounds if Carson were doing this. But I think that Derek Moore could add something to this edge room. We just kind of need another piece, which I think is what Derek Moore is.
All right, welcome to the draft, Colts. Their first pick of the day. They actually have some needs here, despite how well they did last year. They need edge rusher. Arden Key and Leatu Latu. They could use a linebacker. They got Akeem Davis-Gaither and Austin Ayaki. I don't even know.
Ooh.
DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart inside. Then their corners are good, and their safeties are decent, but their offensive line has got tore apart in the offseason. They never really had receivers. I just think they overpaid Alec Pierce. So I could really go a lot of directions with this. Just top available, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I'm not a huge fan of. Peter Woods. I'm not a huge fan of, but I think that Peter Woods would probably fit in well here. He was still mine and Cody's edge 3, consensus edge 2 somehow. Defensive tackle 2.
Yeah.
Zion Young is there, but I don't like him in this offense with DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart. I really don't love let me look at the rest of the receivers here. I see Chris Bell, who I'm not touching. Not a fan of him. Chris Brazzell. No, there's no one I really love here as a receiver.
Yeah, you need like a vertical threat that you just lost in Alec Pierce. And you lost Michael Pittman, your kind of intermediate guy.
Yeah, but I don't like Chris Brazzell.
No.
Bryce Lance is there, but this is a reach.
Who did you have next in your wide receiver rankings?
You
got like 30 seconds.
I had Zachariah Branch next.
Okay. Ugh.
But Josh Downs is fine.
Yeah.
I think I might just have to go best available with Peter Woods, honestly.
Sure.
I think that he could make this defense better. So I'm just going to go Peter Woods. Not too excited about it, though.
Okay. Up with the Falcons. Falcons welcome to the draft at 48 overall. James Pierce Jr. is the reason for that. Well, the front office made the trade to get James Pierce Jr. And I hope he plays football this year. So we could look edge. It's a way to lean into that. I don't love it. I mean, they just added Samson Ebukam, Aziz Ojolari. So they have a solid rotation there to go along with Jalen Walker, Braylon Trice. They did just lose their hardcore blitzing linebacker in Caden Ellis. They brought in Christian Harris. I do like Christian Harris back from the time that he was drafted. So I kind of want to stay away from the defense. They traded away Rukaroro for Mason Smith. Don't love that, but what are you going to do? Their right tackle just retired. Another pretty young retirement. His name was blanking again. Been thinking of a lot of names. But he just retired, so they brought in Jawan Taylor like immediately after he retired. I think Jawan Taylor has proved in his time in KC that he's not really a dependable tackle. Now, I don't feel like there are that many dependable tackles here available, is the problem. Next on my board would be Isaiah World, but he's still like a project. So I don't love that. Could look at wide receiver. They brought in Jahan Dotson and Olamide Zaccheaus. Those guys could be we could have better options here. And my next option would be maybe we don't have better options. I like Zachariah Branch. Zachariah Branch might be good here. As a guy who you can get the ball to really quickly, and he can do something after the catch. And I think he's better than Zaccheaus in the slot. So Zachariah Branch.
Okay, I'm back up with the Minnesota Vikings. We got Jeremiah Love with our first pick here. So scanning up and down their roster as I was waiting there. There's not a lot that I'm too worried about on the offensive side. Or at least not that I want to draft for, I guess I should say. I'm out of my worries. But so my eyes kind of scanned down and got stuck on the safety position. And we got Emmanuel McNeil Warren still sitting there. Because at safety, they got Joshua Metellus and J.E. Ward playing safety right now. So I really like Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Yeah.
I think he would be very good down there with the Vikings. So I think I'm just not even going to think about that anymore. And we are going to go with Emmanuel McNeil Warren for the Vikings.
I like that. Harrison Smith just retired.
Yep. Okay, so I'm back up with the Detroit Lions now. And this is a little trickier for me, to be honest. Last time with the Lions, I picked Caden McDonald, defensive lineman. And so we're going to look down through here. So they're saying they need tackle. Oh, we got defensive linemen. I always like to try to think of Dan Campbell guys here, of course. You got to think of these tough guys to slip in there to Detroit and be tough and gritty. There aren't really a lot of tackles I like right here at this juncture.
Whoa.
Nice word.
Thank you.
Holy
Thank you.
cow.
That was fantastic.
Pull that out of.
I don't know, but it came out of somewhere. Could we? I mean, how is Malcolm Rodriguez? To be fair, I don't really know how he played.
He was an undrafted guy who got famous because of Hard Knocks back in the day, but he hasn't really done a whole lot on the field.
I might not mind a linebacker here. I liked Anthony Hill Jr. as my third. It might be a reach, but
Are you a Zion Young guy?
not
just
really. Yeah, just Carson.
Because wait, who's starting at edge across from Aiden Hutchinson? Did I ask that last time?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Is it Derek Barnes?
DJ Wanham, they got from Carolina.
Man. Who would be your next edge?
That's a good question. Let's see if I can get to my edge group here in time. Gabe Yakus. Oh, I do like him actually. I'm going to go with that. I like Gabe Akis. Sorry, Gabe Akis for the Lions. I am a fan of him.
All right, I like that pick a lot. Carolina Panthers are back up. In the first round, they went with Kenyon Sadiq. And now we could look corner. Could look corner. Could look wide receiver. They just lost their center from last year. They did just bring in, though, Luke Fortner to try to fill that gap. I feel like Derek Brown could use some more help on the interior because Bobby Brown and Tershawn Wharton aren't exactly lighting the world on fire. So let's see who we got available for D tackles. I do like Big Citrus.
Oh, Big Citrus.
I like Big Citrus a lot. But if I want more of a pass rusher, I could go Grayson Halton. It would be my next guy. I kind of like that idea. If we want some more pass rush help, which could use it with Nick Scorton and Jalen Phillips. I mean, it never helps to get more pass rush help.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Grayson Halton as somebody. I mean, Derek Brown is big enough to kind of plug some gaps that Dominique Orange would do. So
True.
Give me Grayson Halton to the Panthers.
I like that. Okay, I am up with the Green Bay Packers. Welcome, Packers.
Yes.
So, Packers are honestly, they didn't lose a lot, and what they did, they kind of filled in. Like, they brought in Zaire Franklin from Indy for a linebacker position. They brought in Javon Hargrave to play on that defensive line for them. So, those positions are pretty good, because otherwise I would maybe think linebacker, but Edrin Cooper, Zaire Franklin, obviously Micah Parsons, Van Ness, pretty solid. I was looking at the guards and like the offensive line in general, and I kind of like what I'm seeing as far as drafting someone there. Chase Bisontis would be my next guy there, I believe, and I wouldn't hate that. I don't think. Who do we got on the back end? Oof. Yeah, we could look at corner. We could take a look at cornerback.
Who do we got at corner there, buddy?
We got Keyshawn Nixon at corner, and we got Carrington Valentine. They brought in St. Just. My next guy would be Chris Johnson from San Diego State. Ooh, I think I might like that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah, we're going to go with Chris Johnson. I don't even know where he's at. He's my 6th ranked corner. We're going to go with that. Chris Johnson for the Green Bay Packers. And I'm back up with the Steelers. And so far, let's see, we have picked Vega Ioane. That worked out nicely for a guard position there. Let's look at what we got here. Needs quarterback. Who needs a quarterback? When you got Will Howard. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it's always good to build the lines, especially in Pittsburgh. Get back to that.
Who they have slotted in starting with DK and Pittman? Who's the slot?
Oh, shoot. I'm not on the Steelers page. That would help.
Calvin Austin's gone.
Yep. It might just be Roman Wilson.
It is Roman Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Depends on how confident you are on him and if there's anybody better.
Chris Brazel, Skylar Bell, Chris Bell. Oof. I'm looking at Chase Bisontis again.
Yeah?
I am a fan of his. I think that he could do good in Pittsburgh. There aren't really any receivers I'm super fired up about that I would like more than Roman Wilson. That's tough. My next one would probably looks like it would be. Is Jeremy Bernard still there?
Nope, he gone.
Okay, then yeah, my next one would be Chris Brazel, actually from Tennessee.
Another big guy, big receiver.
Another big receiver.
Loves him.
I think we're just gonna go with a guard here.
Yeah.
I like Chase Bisontis. We'll draft Chase Bisontis for the Steelers.
Eagles in the first round went with Caleb Lomu, ground beef.
Nice.
And we could honestly go best player available here. And now who that best player is in my eyes is going to be way different than what the board looks like.
Sure.
I'm not a fan of Zion Young. Ty Simpson doesn't make sense for this team.
Right.
Chris Bell, meh. He wouldn't be the wide receiver I would want. Actually, let's go with a wide receiver because A.J. Brown keeps getting louder and louder. So my next available wide receiver would be Josh Cameron,
Ooh.
Ted Hurst. I mean, Josh Cameron, if we are getting rid of A.J. Brown, bring in another guy who's not as fast or explosive, but same size.
Yeah, you got a point.
Man, I'd have to scroll way down for him. It's 168 on this one.
Oof.
I really like Josh Cameron, though.
Hey,
and I
that's what you like.
feel like wide receiver makes sense. So
Here we go.
Here we go.
I think we got to do it.
Okay.
Let's go Josh
do it.
Cameron.
Wow, there goes credibility there.
Yeah.
And
I can
then,
back that decision there also.
Yes, you
Yes.
can.
All right, we're back on the Charger train here. First round, we took Jermod McCoy to solidify the corner position.
P-break. I'm off for a while.
Well, I have a question for you before you leave, actually, Kian. Actually, I have two questions for you before you leave.
Okay.
Two teams, actually.
Yeah.
So for the Chargers, I would like to know, does Derwin James actually play nickel corner?
Most of the time, yes.
How is he as just a strong safety?
I mean, he's that hard-charging safety. He'd be fine
So
as
he's,
strong
has
safety.
he done it in the NFL?
Yes. Yeah, he just plays more at nickel because he's so damn good at it, and it gets him
Okay.
close to the line of scrimmage, and he can cover tight ends like nothing.
Okay. Because I think this offensive line's actually fine. They have guard as a need, but I think Trevor Penning and Cole Strange are okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Is that generous?
Yeah,
Should
that's
I
generous.
say
That's
less
generous.
than okay?
Yeah.
And then their defensive line is bad. Oh, okay. So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking I either want to go with Zion Young or R. Mason Thomas here.
Mm.
They are my edges 5 and 6. I think Zion Young could pair up well with this defensive line. Just a hard charging run stopper. If I remember correctly, I don't think they could really stop the run last year, right? Or am I...
Yeah, not too well. That's been a problem for them for forever.
Okay, I think Zion Young might be the pick here then. I think they'd like a speed rusher in R. Mason Thomas, but I think Zion Young has better versatility with the run stuffing as well. So I'm going to go Zion Young for the Chargers. That brings me to the Jaguars. Welcome to the draft, Jaguars. This is their first pick of the day. And Kian, my question for you
Sure.
is, I believe, I may be mistaken, but I think Antonio Johnson had a really good year last year.
Antonio Johnson, the safety?
Yes.
Yeah, he was their better safety. Who was the other starting safety? Oh, it was Wingard. Yeah, he was definitely the better one.
Yeah, because Wingard's gone, and
Yeah.
he was like the playmaker on that defense.
Yeah.
So that makes me want to look to the secondary here.
Who else are they starting now?
It says Eric Murray and Antonio Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Yeah.
can Antonio Johnson be like a rangy deep safety or no?
No, he's more of the strong. That's why you bring in Murray.
Yeah, okay. Is Eric Murray okay? Isn't he like 30 or
fine.
something?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Because I really want to take A.J. Halsey here. Because I think A.J. Halsey could come down. He could help out the wing linebacker and Ventrell Miller. Because Foyesade Oluokun he's great as a middle linebacker. I think he can be the tackle machine there and then just let A.J. Halsey kind of be the playmaker. So I love that. I think Jordan Lewis is pretty dang good at the nickel, right?
Yes.
Because I could go trade on Stukes as well, but I don't want to do that at this point. So I think I'm going to go with A.J. Halsey. Yeah, I'm going to go with A.J. Halsey.
I like
think.
that.
I like that for the Jags. All right, you're now relieved of your duties, Keith.
All right.
I am up with the Bears. Last time I took Kristen Miller at defensive lineman. Kind of scanning up and down the Bears roster here. They brought in a center. Otherwise, I'd be thinking Connor Lew here. But they brought in Garrett Bradbury. Let's see. You got Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright on the offensive line. Really, they actually did a decent job filling some holes in the defense. They brought in Devin Bush, which us Steeler fans don't really love him, but
No, he was actually pretty good last
He
year
was
on the
good.
Browns, though.
He was.
Which was shocking.
yeah, but he was solid. They brought in Cam Lewis to the safety position and Kobe Bryant, so that's pretty shored up here. Looking best available,
Who'd you draft for them last time?
Kristen Bell, defensive lineman.
Okay.
Yeah.
still use an edge rush, I think.
They probably could use
Who
edge
do
rush.
they have opposite Montez Sweat? Anybody?
Dio Diengbo.
Okay. I think he's actually decent, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
he's decent. So that'd be our Mason Thomas area,
Hmm.
which I don't hate. Kind of a speed rusher. That would give Montez Sweat some help.
Yeah. Yeah, Montez Sweat definitely needs all the help he can
Yeah.
get. Because those corners really outproduced last year with how bad the pass rush
They
was.
did.
They had to cover, and they still forced a lot of interceptions. So that was,
They did. They played really well. So, again, edge is always better to have more people. So I think I'm going to go with R. Mason Thomas for the Chicago Bears.
Nice. All right, the 49ers are back on the clock. In the first round, I picked Caden Proctor to work as a project under Trent Williams for hopefully a full year or two if he can stay healthy and on the field. So now I'd like to look to guard or center. Connor Colby, Dominic Pooney are their guards. The top available guard here would be Kalen Rutledge, who I don't hate. Connor Liu's there. How'd Jake Brendel play the past couple years?
He's been fine. He's been their starter for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
so.
like 6 years it looks like.
Yeah.
5 years. Yeah, so I think the center's fine. So I have Kalen Rutledge as my overall offensive lineman 12. Kean doesn't like him as much, but that would address the guard position. This is another team that could use an edge as well. I don't like how the edge room has fallen to me, though. If it was R. Mason Thomas, I really would have liked it, but I think that there's a...
Oops.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty decent teardrop here for me. I actually do like Deni Dennis Sutton, but not for this team because I think this team needs a speed rusher. And
Bryce Huff was last year.
Yeah, and Bryce Huff retired,
Yeah.
and those are gone. So that brings me back to guard because I addressed tackle. Safeties, I actually don't hate Jair Brown and Malik Mustafa. I think those guys are actually fine where they are. Just out of curiosity, I think my next rated safety is Kamari Ramsey. Yep, and he's there.
Mm-hmm.
But Bud Clark.
Bud Clark, yeah, Bud Clark could be the rangy ball hawk back there. Yeah, I think I gotta give the offense some help though. Last year they just could not get it going.
Oh, no.
Oh, I got auto picked. I didn't realize.
Eli Stowers.
Eli Stowers. Well, George Kittle's hurt, and I like Jake Tonjes. That's a terrible pick. All right, well, I'm sorry, Niners, but you guys are cursed.
You're up again.
All right, on to the Texans.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do a little better for the Texans here. I picked Jennings, Dunker, and Caleb Banks previously. Man, I'm sorry, 49ers, but it is what it is. Now, this is more the range that I'd like to get them a running back, depending on what else they have here. Jake Andrews, I previously said is good. I got that help to replace Ed Ingram. I got some interior help. Yeah, I think I really addressed most of their weak spots here. The defense is ready to go. Yeah, I think this is the time that I'm just about free to take a running back.
I like that.
So I have the choice of my litter here with the running backs. And all of our running backs, all of us have Jadarian Price as our running back twos. And to get him at the end of the second round, I think is a great deal.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Jadarian Price, Dave Montgomery, Woody Marks, in my opinion, did not look good last year.
No.
So I think I don't really like the similarity of David Montgomery and Jadarian Price as they could be comped. But I don't think you can pass up on him here, so I'm going Jadarian Price.
I am back up with the Bears. I was kind of looking at offensive line. Their offensive line was okay. There's no one here that I like enough that I'd really like to add into the mix. Our offensive line, we got like Darnell Wright on one side, Ozzie Trapio on the other. Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson inside. Garrett Bradbury brought in for the center position. So there's no one that I think I'd want to draft to add to that. I was then looking at The corners, I believe, is where I was looking. See if we can add a little bit of depth there, because like Carson said with my last pick, like they did produce pretty well, probably better than expected. You could bring in a guy that needs maybe a little more fine-tuning that at least Kean likes. Maybe Carson
I like Abney.
and Stooks. You like
Stooks,
Yeah, I like Stooks.
Stooks is still there. I think he could.
Who do they have starting in the slot right now?
Right corner, left corner.
Nickel.
Let's see. They got Tyreek Stevenson. Oh, Nickelback Kyler Gordon.
Oh, yeah, they did just pay him.
Yeah. So I don't know. Tricky. I don't think there's anyone. Like, they just brought in those safeties. I wouldn't mind adding in another safety. And Kamari Ramsey's there, and I am a fan of Ramsey.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to go with him there. Add a little bit of depth to that room and a little bit of spark. Yeah, Kamari Ramsey for the Chicago Bears.
All right, I'm back on the clock with the LA Rams. Previously, I took Monroe Freeling. Defense is ready to go outside of maybe a linebacker. Just checking out the top available linebackers here. Jake Golday, Josiah Trotter, Anthony Hill, Kyle Louise. I think
Lewis.
I don't like. As a downhill rusher, I would love Josiah Trotter.
Who's their linebacker now?
Nate Landman and Omar Spates.
Well, neither one of them are really coverage guys.
No, they're not. Nate Landman's currently playing the role that Josiah Trotter would be playing.
Yeah.
And Landman's
well.
been good,
Yeah, he was
actually.
good. Yeah,
he was.
So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to go to receiver here. Finally, get him some help. Tight end could be addressed too. Actually. They drafted Terrence Ferguson. I hated that pick. Kean hated that pick.
As an Oregon guy, yeah.
To get him a more well-rounded tight end, Max Clare would be the pick here. He can do it all. Justin Jolly would be the explosive play. Or I'm either looking at Bryce Lance or Ted Hurst. Now, just thinking about Matt Stafford's play style, I think both of those guys would fit as downfield threats. I think this may actually be a spot where I'd want Ted Hurst to land. I think that Matt Stafford's ball placement can get Ted Hurst into some positions that would let him exceed. So I'm actually going to draft Ted Hurst, who kind of plays like a tight end right here.
Yeah.
Now, welcome to the draft, Broncos. Their first pick. They traded their first overall pick, or their first round pick, for Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
So they pretty much drafted a receiver. They pretty much drafted KC Conception, if you ask me. So now, looking at their other needs, wide receivers taken care of. Evan Ingram's their tight end. I'm fine with that. I like Evan Ingram. Their interior defensive line is bad. Malcolm Roach and Ayoma Iwazuriki.
Nailed it.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Or what? Yeah. Alex Singleton's their linebacker, and Justin Stranad.
They like Stranad.
They do like Stranad.
They do. Yeah, I think interior defensive line is where we need to go
Sounds
here.
like it.
Yeah.
So looking at the top available there,
It's too bad Lee Hunter isn't there.
it's too bad Lee Hunter's in there. If it was up to me, he'd keep falling. But no way. The grapefruit's there.
Oh, yes.
The grapefruit's there.
Yes.
This is perfect for the grapefruit. He's a starter over both those guys all day. Their nose tackle is Malcolm Roach right now.
Immediately makes their run defense
Bring
better.
Yes.
in big citrus.
Let's go. I would
love
get a citrus jersey.
Oh,
if he goes
yeah.
to Denver.
Hell yeah.
Got to get a custom one that says big citrus.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, Sean Payton would be making us happy.
Yeah.
Okay, the Patriots are back up, and in round 1, they went with T.J. Parker to help off the edge. And I was sitting here for my long hiatus. Good word.
Nice, good word.
About who I wanted to get for Mike Vrabel to just make an exciting player. And I was thinking there aren't too many super exciting players left. But I was looking up and down their defensive depth chart. Now that we added edge depth, it's not like we have any dire needs. Outside of maybe linebacker or a coverage linebacker type player, Robert Spillane can handle most of the tackling run defense duties. Christian Ellis is the other starting inside linebacker they have slotted there. But I want somebody who can be a real chess piece that Vrabel can work with. and Kyle Lewis.
Ooh, okay.
I think Kyle Lewis could be really fun working with Vrabel to wreak havoc all over this defense, play a coverage role linebacker while Spillane just crashes down. So I really like the idea of Kyle Lewis here, and that's where we're going to go.
Boom.
All right, the Seahawks are back up. We previously drafted Colton Hood to address the Tariq Woolen departure, and then I said that at this point we're either going to address edge to address Boyd Mafe or go running back to help take care of K9. Now, the Seahawks do have one more pick at 96, and I think at that spot I could get a running back that I love. So I'm going to let running back fall to there. And then, so at pick 64, I'm going to see who my favorite available edge left here is. And I'd also be fine with an interior defender. But DeMarcus Lawrence is currently our edge rusher, our rushing specialist, as our lads has it. And I don't love that, and he's old. So my top available edge is Deni Dennis Sutton. Looks like is Keldrick Falk gone?
Yes.
Okay. Looks like Kean likes Caden Curry, Joshua Josephs. Yeah. I think Deni Dennis Sutton would be okay here. Because I said I'd also be okay with taking an interior defender. I think Deni Dennis Sutton brings versatility to do both those things, so I'm going to take him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now on to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals previously picked, I got David Bailey at the edge, Jacob Rodriguez at linebacker. That's right, I remember this now. Their defense is loaded now. So now they need a quarterback. This is a point I'd actually be okay taking Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
To learn under Jacoby Brissett.
I've heard a lot of steam of the Cardinals looking at Simpson.
That makes some sense.
But around earlier than this.
Yeah. They could also use Roy Lopez as their nose tackle. But I think Walter Nolan in there is fine. Darius Robinson, his hips are tight, but he's all right. Linebacker. They could use a linebacker. Mac Wilson Sr. and Cody Simpson. That's right.
Didn't you just draft one?
Oh, yeah, Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez.
Shoot, this
sounds kind of like
this
a quarterback.
team's even better than I think.
6 hours of sleep over the past 2 nights isn't working so well.
No, it's not. All right, yeah, I like
quarterback.
everything except I mean, this is
Makes a lot of sense. I like it.
it makes
Who's your quarterback 2? Is it
Gardner
Simpson?
Minshew. But he'll
No, who's your quarterback 2 in this class?
Oh, Ty Simpson.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
Yeah, I think Ty Simpson is mine and Cody's 2.
Yeah, it's mine too. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're on to the Tennessee Titans. So I addressed the trenches for the Titans. I've drafted them Francis Mauigoa and Emmanuel Pregnon. So now they still have more needs, believe it or not.
I believe
They
it.
could use a center. Yes!
Oh, boy.
This is the spot
Let's
for
go.
the great Connor Liu.
I like it.
Yep, I gave
love that.
I gave him a tackle. Now they're getting a center. Yeah, this run game. Connor Liu's incredible. The way he advances to the second level in the run game. Keenan and I love the guy, my guy for both of us. So, yeah, I think that's a steal right there.
Pick it.
Connor
Not
Liu.
Kenny.
Now back to the Raiders. The Raiders have revamped their offense in this draft tremendously, reuniting Fernando Mendoza and Elijah Surratt.
It's beautiful.
Tom Brady couldn't be any happier with that combo
Like a
there.
grown man cry.
It's like Tom Brady and Julian Edelman all over
Oh,
again.
Yeah.
man. Beautiful.
All right, so now this is going to be the Raiders' last pick of these 3 rounds. I think they could honestly use another receiver. Currently they have Jack Best, Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, and now Elijah Surratt.
Yeah.
I think Jack Best could be used in a unique way, especially with Fernando Mendoza there.
Definitely.
And then Trey Tucker's, I'm actually fine with that receiving core.
He's gotten better for sure.
Yeah. Their tackles are Colton Miller and DJ Glaze. So I'm going to look at their top tackles here, top available tackles. But they could also use it if, okay, who is our favorite tackles here? Because Caleb Tiernan is there. I think Tiernan's that project that I hate, if I remember correctly. Right, Ken? He's just huge, super long.
Yeah, he's huge and super
he's a
long. I said he
project.
moves like a tree, meaning doesn't move.
Yes, okay. So my top available tackle would be Brian Parker.
Do you feel like he's a tackle?
I'd have to look at my report, but I feel like I remember moving him to guard.
I would have World, but I think you were a lot lower on World.
Yes, I was. And then I also have
Cage Casey?
Cage Casey. Was he another guy that needed to move in?
I think you could play him at either,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Cage Casey might be the pick here. Let me look at interior defenders real quick.
Make sure you don't run out of time.
Yep.
Yeah, again, yeah. I don't want to screw the Raiders like I did the Niners. Come on. Sorry.
Oh, man.
So, what?
What? Oh,
My timer isn't right on mine.
I guess not.
It said I had half my time left.
Oh, I think whenever you click on your picks and then go back, it resets the timer
Oh.
on the little blue circle. But on the
Oh.
little blue line that shows up over the team, it doesn't reset.
Where's the blue line over the team?
It only shows up whenever you're picking.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see here in a minute. But the Eagles are back up, and in the first round and second round, they went Lomu and Josh Cameron, respectively. And now, again, we could just... I want to go edge rusher is the way that I'm leaning. But they have a lot of pieces there right now. They just brought in Arnold Ebiketie and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and they have Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith still there. But they like to have a deep rotation. They brought in Tariq Woolen to be the starting corner that they had problems with last year. So I don't really need there. Marcus Epps is their starting safety beside Andrew Makuba. We could look safety. I like Makuba to play either role of like hard-nosed crash down safety or back in coverage. But if I can remember correctly, I think we liked him as a tackler. We liked what he could do as a tackler.
Who's that?
Makuba.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We liked him as both roles, strong or free safety. So let's look at safeties, and I think we could go get what's the word I'm looking for? A ball hawk.
Yeah.
A center fielder of sorts. And my next safety would be Genesis Smith. Our next consensus safety would be Bud Clark, both of those being that free safety type. And I guess just sticking to my guns and sticking to the athletes that the Eagles like to draft, they kind of are fine with drafting the more raw guys like a Jalix Hunt. So I think we're going to go Genesis Smith here is what we're going to go with. So there we go, Genesis Smith.
All right, back to the Texans here. I've drafted them.
Now you see the blue bar?
No. Oh, yes.
That's the correct time.
I've drafted them Jennings Dunker to slide into guard to take over Ed Ingram, Caleb Banks for an interior defender, then Jadarian Price at running back. And at this point, I'm really feeling like this team is just about ready to go. So I feel like I have freedom to just make a high upside pick here, exciting pick, or best player available. Looking at the draft board, it looks like Keith Abney's ranked the highest. Oh, Traydon Stukes is there.
Yeah.
Maybe Jalen Petrie could go back to safety if we draft Traydon Stukes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love Stukes. Makes his defense even better.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do that because, I mean, the corner is like another position that you can't have enough of.
Right.
So, yeah, I think Traydon Stukes is the pick here.
Let's go. Arizona guys back to back.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back up at the Browns, and so far we have got Spencer Fano for the tackle position. We've got Makai Lemon for the wide receiver position. And we've got Keldrick Falk for an edge position. And this will be the Brownies' last pick in our 3-round mock draft here. So I don't see any glaring needs. So I've just been kind of glancing over best available. And we got someone like Keith Abney. But I think their corners are solid on the Browns because we got Denzel Ward and Tyson Campbell. And that whole defense, honestly, was great last year. They were very good. You see people like a Malachi Lawrence for the edge, Keontae Scott for corner. And then pops up Chris Brazzell for wide receiver. I was kind of a fan of his, and I don't think that would be bad for some young quarterback/quarterbacks, depending on who's going to play, to have a few more weapons there.
If it is Shadur, he loves to chuck it deep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to
Good
ask you,
point.
without looking at my notes, Chris Brazzell, wasn't he a longer threat?
Yes.
Deeper threat type player?
deep
Very
threat.
long
Yes.
and skinny.
That's not a bad thing to have another one of those guys to run across from Jerry Jeudy. I like that. I think I'm going to draft Chris Brazzell, another weapon for the Cleveland Browns here to wrap up their third-round picks.
Even though I'm not really a Brazzell guy, I think that makes sense.
I think it makes sense.
Especially if they are going to give Shadur more of a run.
Yeah.
And they could never use. You need a lot more wide receiver help on that team, so that makes sense.
Definitely.
The Washington Commanders, first round, they went Carnell Tate, and this is their last pick in this mock draft of 3 rounds. So I was looking at the Washington depth chart, and they added running backs like Rashad White and Jerome Ford to go along with Bill Krosky-Merritt, but I still think you could add another running back and be okay, because I don't think Rashad White is a long-term answer. I don't think Jerome Ford is a long-term answer, and we're still figuring it out with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. So I want to bring in like a different type, I guess. I'd love to bring in a different type of running back. So there's a lot of running back talent still available. Yeah. Mine next on the board would be Nick Singleton, who I think is like nobody in this class, but I don't know. I want him to go to an offensive line that's good and going to get him holes so that he can just power straight through, and I don't think that the Washington Commanders offensive line is consistently that. So that would bring me down to Emmett Johnson would be my next one. I think Emmett Johnson is good. It's like a kind of a do-everything back. You don't really need that, but
they need like an Austin Eckler to replace Austin Eckler.
Yeah. Which would bring me down to I like Jamari Taylor. It's pretty early for him.
Yeah, his class doesn't really have any Austin Ecklers.
Right, yeah. I mean, Nick Singleton is he has a receiver. He's a receiver.
Yeah, he's a good pass catcher.
Yes, he caught he had like almost over 1,000 yards in his entire career. I think that Nick Singleton might be the play here, just as something different. Rashad White's not speed. Neither is Jerome Ford. Krosky-Merritt's fine. But let's go Nick Singleton.
And Austin Eckler was the return man. Nick Singleton can do that too.
Can do that. That's a good point. Yes.
All right, I'm back up with the Bengals here. Kind of really going over this in my head. I don't know where I want to go for this pick because on paper, their offensive line is not that bad. And I did get a tackle for them earlier in this draft too. If I can go, Blake Miller, I got for them earlier, so I wouldn't mind getting another one. It's never bad to have more of those, but there's not a whole lot that I like right here, interior or outside. You're looking at Caleb Tiernan, Keelan Rutledge.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that I like.
Who'd you say you draft? Did you draft this? Who was starting at safety beside?
Brian Cook and Jordan Battle.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Are there any good safeties?
I was looking at them too. Is a Kiwi? Oh, there's Bud Clark.
Bud Clark.
We do like Bud Clark.
Yeah, and Brian Cook is he's a tackler.
Yeah.
Bud Clark.
Bud Clark may not be bad to get into that room. They brought in Kyle Duggar too from Pittsburgh.
Again, that's a tackler. That's more of a linebacker.
Less coverage, yeah. Bud Clark is a coverage guy?
Yeah, Bud Clark is like a
full
ball
cover.
hawk. Yeah.
You guys liked him more than me, but I trust your guys' thoughts and opinions, and I think it will work for this team. Bud Clark to the Bengals.
I like that. All right, the Saints are back up on the clock, and in the first few rounds, they drafted Jordan Tyson and Jayshawn Barham. Add some firepower to this team, some excitement. And honestly, we could go back for a wide receiver 3. Could do that. Brought in David Edwards to help out that offensive line. I like that. Brought in Noah Fant to help out Juwan Johnson. I'm fine there. Brought in Travis Etienne as a running back. Could add to that defensive line. I was saying that I'm tired of looking at those same names year after year after year. So my next, D tackle would be I guess Big Citrus is gone. I like Dante Corleone as a run-stuffing nose tackle out of Cincinnati who we didn't get a chance to talk about. He's like 6 feet tall and 340 pounds. I like what that would add to the defense to help stop the run. They have Godchaw slotted into that right now. Could also go corner. I don't think that we're completely... We can get better at corner. Yadam, I like McKinstry. Quincy Riley and the nickel, I'm not a super big fan of. And I think that Keith Abney would be perfect on this team in that nickel spot. Yeah. I like that a lot. He's just a guy, in my notes of him, what I put is that nobody can stop and go like this guy. And that's perfect. His feet are insanely quick, and I think that's perfect for covering slot receivers. So I think Keith Abney's finally coming off the board here.
Nice. All right. My Chiefs are back on the clock here. I've loved their draft so far. We've taken Akeem Mesidor at edge, Avion Terrell at corner, Michael Trigg at tight end. And I think with them losing all their corners, we could go another corner here. Their starting corners are currently Noel Williams and Christian Fulton. Cater Coe's in the slot, so we'd be fine for a slot guy or an outside guy. My highest ranked, I previously said I hope this guy falls, and knowing my fellow GMs, I think he will. And I think Davis Igbinosun is a great fit here with how quickly the ball gets out of the quarterback's hands when the Chiefs are going against him. Igbinosun can't really cover that well downfield, but he's so strong at the catch point and at the line of scrimmage that I think he could be a great press corner on this team. So I think Igbinosun, if he's going to succeed, it's going to be here, and I think Andy Reid can shape him into a great corner.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, and they love those press man corners. Look at L'Jarius Sneed and what he was, and the guys who just left were that same way, except for Trent McDuffie, he was a little bit smaller, but they love playing press man, blitzing the crap out of somebody. So the Dolphins, they brought in Dylan Thieneman, D'Angelo Pons, and Jeremy Bernard. I love this draft for them. They came in needing a lot of help, and I think they've gotten a lot of help so far. Here's how they're looking now. I think we could go edge rusher. Right now they have Chop Robinson, David Ojabo, and Josh Uche are two names that they just brought in because they just lost Jalen Phillips. They just lost Bradley Chubb. I think that we could look there, and I think that's where we're going to look. So my next available edge would be going between two screens.
Tricky.
My next available edge would be Caden Curry. I liked Caden Curry a good amount. I don't know how much he was helped by all of the surrounding help at Ohio State, but I feel like Caden Curry is like he reminded me a lot of Jack Sawyer in that a guy who can just kind of do a little bit of everything, not be great at one simple thing, but be kind of, I'll be able to stop the run a little bit. I can rush the passer a little bit. If I want more of a freak, I'd go with Joshua Josephs, who would be next on my board. Joshua Josephs has like 34-inch arms, and I think he uses them really well. But I think we just want that for sure, going to help out our pass rush guy like Caden Curry. So I think maybe it's a little bit early for him. This board says it is very early for him, but I don't care. I think Caden Curry is going to fit and make this team better. So that's what matters. Caden Curry.
Okay, I'm back up with the Steelers, and we've got two guards I drafted for them already, so we're really shoring up that offensive line here. I got Chase Pasantis and Vega Ioane, of course. So I'm not even going to look back there because I feel really good about that. Looking everywhere else on the Steelers, I kind of struggle to see where I want to go here. I mean, it's saying like I looked at the running backs and I'd be interested in one, but I'm not really all that interested. We got Jalen Warren and Rico Dowdle. We kind of know their roles, and there's no one available right now that could mix it up enough for me to be interested. So I'm kind of just looking best available is what I've been scanning down, and adding to the defense is never bad. I was looking at linebackers, I believe, and our linebacker room is so strong, but
I guess somebody who can stop the run.
That's kind of what I was thinking, which
tired of watching Patrick Queen try to tackle.
That was my main concern was Patrick Queen. So like
your guy's still there.
Anthony Hill Jr. Yeah.
And Josiah Trotter, Golday.
Yeah. Which one, in your opinion, would be the run stopper?
Trotter.
That's kind of what I thought.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, so that's why I like Anthony Hill, but I like Trotter for his run stopping.
I love that.
I wish we would draft Trotter.
Yeah, he'd be awesome. As a blitzer, too.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Trotter to Steelers.
All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are back up, and in the first few rounds, they've drafted Sonny Styles and Derek Moore to help out the defense. And I think what we could honestly go back to the defense right now, corner. They are starting Zion McCollum, who had his ups and downs last year. Benjamin Morrison didn't play too much because Jamel Dean was there, and Jacob Parrish in the nickel. I think we could draft some insurance to just in case Benjamin Morrison doesn't work out or Zion McCollum eventually maybe flames out. My next available corner would be Chandler Rivers. We didn't get to talk about Chandler Rivers. I like Chandler Rivers.
Him, yeah.
I think he's like he was so good in zone, and then his coverage grades in man were also so good out of Duke. I think that I want to go Chandler Rivers here. He's a little bit smaller, a little bit on the smaller side, but the guy was just good. And I have like a minute left here, so I want to get you more of a explanation of who he is than that, as long as my computer doesn't glitch out. Chandler Rivers. Here we go. He's 5'9.5", 185. I saw he was excellent in zone coverage. I think that he's got a really high football IQ. He might be limited to the slot, but I'd be willing to give him a chance outside. He's just so jolty and sudden with his movements as he roams all over the field to be able to cover a lot of places. He can just flawlessly bounce from receiver to receiver in coverage without any hesitation or time to think. That's what I noticed most about him. And I think that Chandler Rivers could be good on this team. Again, I want to try him on the outside, and I comped him to Jordan Lewis, who is a slot corner. But Chandler Rivers is just too good of a football player to pass up here.
All right, the Colts are back on the clock here. They've previously drafted Peter Woods to strengthen their interior line. And now they probably need some receiver help, but honestly at this point in the draft there aren't many receivers here that I think are that big of a difference maker over the ones they currently have in Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, and Nick Westbrook-Akine. So that leads me to address the two big positions they lost on defense when Zaire Franklin went to the Packers and Nick Cross went to the Commanders. So looking at safeties and linebackers here, our top-ranked linebacker would be Anthony Hill Jr. He's our linebacker 4. And he would be a safe option, a safe guy in the middle, kind of like Zaire Franklin was, such a sure tackler to rack up the tackles. I think Anthony Hill Jr. could do that. And then my top safety would be Zakie Wheatley, who I think would pair up well with Cam Bynum, as Cam Bynum's roaming over top. So, I mean, it's really a toss-up here. So, I think that how was Akeem Davis-Gaither last year? He was pretty much, I think he was Cardinals' best linebacker, right?
Yeah, that's not saying a whole lot.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, their wing linebackers, Austin Ayaki or whatever. I don't think Anthony Hill could really do that, though.
No. But, I mean, they did lose a lot of production.
Yeah, they did.
Tackling production.
Yeah.
I think that Hills could do that.
Yeah, I think so, too. Yeah, I think Hill's a good play here. I think Hill's going to slide right in for Zaire Franklin.
Back up with the Falcons in round 2, they went with Zachariah Branch. Now I'm looking defense, and I don't know. Mike Hughes has been fine. I think A.J. Terrell luckily takes the best wide receiver toward him so that Mike Hughes gets like an easier play week to week. We could just, before he flames out, we could draft a backup replacement or backup plan, and that would be Malik Muhammad to me. I think Malik Muhammad could play outside. I have less questions about him playing outside than Chandler Rivers. I just have Malik Muhammad one spot below. I like Malik Muhammad here, but I think we could get a better player, a better fit for the team if we go offensive line, being that they're Caleb McGarry. There we go. Caleb McGarry just retired. Their right tackle. That was the name I was trying to think of earlier. We could go with a project offensive tackle, and I like Isaiah World. And you have Jawan Taylor there, who you just brought in, who could be a stopgap for maybe like 1 year. And then Isaiah World hopefully comes in and is a good tackle for you. And being right tackle with the quarterbacks you have on this team, that's basically left tackle now. That's a blind side with Michael Penix and Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
So,
and they're fragile.
They're fragile. So I think I like Isaiah World here more than I like just drafting a break in case of emergency Malik Muhammad, because I think that Jawan Taylor is more of a surefire thing that's going to break over Mike Hughes at corner. So let's go to offensive tackle, and we're going to take Isaiah World.
Okay, I'm back on the clock with the Baltimore Ravens, and so far I believe we've got Denzel Boston in the first. Yes, Denzel Boston
You can
and
click on that tab too.
oh, I see. Okay, that'd be easier. Denzel Boston, wide receiver, and then we got C.J. Allen at linebacker for the Ravens. So we're back up here. I'm kind of looking best available again because I don't see anything that's. I mean, I'm looking at offensive linemen is what I'm actually looking at right now. There's guys like Caleb Tiernan, Keelan Rutledge, Sam Heck, center.
Hecht.
Yeah,
Yep,
Heck.
Hecht. Yep.
There's no real guys that are jumping out at me. I'd really like to get a offensive lineman, but I don't know how much I like these guys right now. But I don't know if I really want to go anywhere else. There aren't really a whole lot of glaringly obvious needs.
I like Sam Hecht as a center. I mean,
I think it wouldn't be bad because they're going to try to be recovering. Well, not recovering, but
replacing Linderbaum.
Yeah, trying to work on that.
I had Hecht one spot below Lou, so I think very highly of him.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be bad.
I think he's the clear second best center in this class, I would say.
Yeah, I like that because I don't think it'd be bad to at least get him in there for some competition, if nothing else. And
he had a great Senior Bowl that got him a ton of hype. So
sweet. Yeah, we're going with Hecht.
Yeah, guys who play well at the Senior Bowl are usually good.
Yep. For the Ravens.
All right, the Jags are back on the clock now. They previously drafted A.J. Halsey at safety to give that defense some help, and now we are looking either at linebacker, interior defensive line, or they have tight ends as a need, but I like Brenton Strange. I think he's a good receiving tight end, and I don't think the options... Oh, actually, tight ends have fallen.
They have.
Ooh, man. Justin Jolly would be an exciting pick here. Or Max Clare would be safe and you know what you're getting. But I think this offense already has good enough receiving options that I would actually want to address running back more than anything on offense because I personally wasn't a Bashal Tutin fan. In his limited run last year, he didn't really impress me too much. So just look at running backs here. Ooh. I think Emmett Johnson would be exciting here. Emmett Johnson,
Yeah, I
Jonah
like him.
Coleman. Katron Allen would also pair well with Bashal Tutin.
Yeah.
But I like the Emmett Johnson play and getting a do-it-all kind of guy.
I do too.
I actually
So
like
I'm going to go with Emmett Johnson to the Jags.
Okay, I'm back up with the Minnesota Vikings, and so far for them, we have picked Jeremiah Love and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at safety. So we shored up the running back room and the safety room. I'm kind of looking at that defensive line. It doesn't make me all that excited to look at.
Who do they got?
Oh, they got a guy by the name of Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, Levi Drake Rodriguez, Jalen Redmond.
Redmond's really the only one that gets significant play time on that team. So, yeah, I think that you would not be wrong to look at D-tackle.
Yeah. I don't mind Daryl Jackson Jr. I really don't mind him at all. I think that might be a solid pick here. You also got Rayshon Benny, Dante Corleone. I think I'm really liking Daryl Jackson Jr. for this pick here to add to that defensive line room. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Daryl Jackson Jr. to the Vikings.
Panthers are back up on the clock, and they went with Sadiq and Grayson Halton so far. And now I'm kind of looking to hopefully get a backup plan for the center, Luke Fortner, who they just got to replace their center, Cade Mays, who just left. Because other than that, I like how they've built this team. Could go safety too. Well, actually, no, never mind. They have Lathan Ransom in case Nick Scott doesn't work out. So this is a fun team, and I think that they're going to be better than people expect, just like last year. So let's go back. My highest rated interior offensive lineman, I think, would be Cage Casey, still on the board. Let's look at offensive tackles too. Cage Casey is, I feel like, a guy who can play both. I don't know about center specifically. He's a little bit of a different skill set. Logan Jones, I guess, would be my next rated actual true center. I think Damian Lewis has some experience playing center too, though, and I would rather just take the better player and figure out where they all fit later. So I think that I'm going to go with Cage Casey here. And, I mean, in a pinch, too, he can play tackle, I believe. So let's go Cage Casey out of Boise State.
Okay, I'm back up with the Green Bay Packers. So far, the Packers have got Chris Johnson, cornerback. So let's see what we got. I'm kind of looking at the offensive line, but again, there's not really many people that I like for the offensive line here that would really make much difference, in my opinion, to their offensive line room. Safety, maybe add a little bit there as depth-wise, I guess, because they got Xavier McKinney, good, and Evan Williams, tasty, and a good player.
Tasty, wow.
Whiskey.
Yeah. Because really the only safeties we got to even look at would be like a Zakee Wheatley, and that doesn't make me super excited.
Sorry, Carson.
Yeah.
You're mistaken.
Yeah. I don't know. This one's tricky a little bit for the Packers. I guess it's not bad. It just means that you can pretty much go wherever you want to go here. You could look at receiver. That's like Skylar Bell, Bryce Lance. They've already got a crowded receiver room. Brought in Sky Moore from Kansas City. Oh. Edge defenders obviously don't look bad. I might add one.
They did just trade away Rashawn Gary, who's starting across from Parsons right now.
Van Ness.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You could add another piece to that rotation.
So Malachi Lawrence. I like Jake Goldie.
Jake Golday?
Golday, yeah.
Yeah, he's like former edge rusher. I don't know if you could try putting him back at edge. I mean,
Yeah.
that
I
could
feel
be
like he'd be a
exciting.
good, like,
Quay Walker V2.
yeah,
Yeah.
he could be. Jake Goldie, I'm going to draft him. He could be a good mix,
I like that.
like, versatile
Yes.
player.
I like that.
Back on the clock with the Steelers. Steelers, so far, we have picked Vega Ioane, Chase Besantis, and Josiah Trotter.
I like it.
So really filling up there. So I'm going to go back to kind of best available because I'm feeling pretty good about where this Steelers team is looking right now. You could look at another weapon like a Skylar Bell, Bryce Lance. Could look at another receiver like that. I wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't mind getting a slot receiver.
Right. Like an Antonio Williams. Out of
Yeah,
Clemson.
I wouldn't mind that to kind of work in there with Roman Wilson because he's been a little bit underwhelming. I feel like I'm going that way. As far as
I
how
like
this
that.
board's lining up, I'd like to get a slot receiver. Yeah, let's do it. Antonio Williams from Clemson.
I like that.
All right, the Chargers are back on the board. I have drafted the Chargers to solidify their defense. I've drafted them Jermod McCoy at corner and Zion Young at edge / defensive end. And I think there's still one glaring need for them, and that's guard. So, without a doubt, I think this is a surefire Kalen Rutledge pick here. So I'm not going to waste any more time, and I'm ready for Kalen Rutledge to try to help out this guard room.
Sure. The Dolphins are up again, and we still have 3 more picks. In the top 100, this team has, what is that, 7? 7 picks in the top 100. That's
man.
awesome for the Dolphins. I hope they do well with them, like we did here. Dylan Dieneman, D'Angelo Pons, Jeremy Bernard, Caden Curry. Honestly, I'm going to go back to the cornerback room because I don't want to have to start Storm Duck or Daryl Baker or Jason Marshall Jr. So we're going to draft a second corner, a third defensive back overall. And let's take a look at what we got. Let's throw in safeties, too, just in case. If we get a little... I guess we do have Minka there, but... Can never have too much DBs.
You do not have Minka there.
Oh, you're right. We don't have Minka there. So, yeah, safety's definitely on the board.
Draft away.
Draft away. So, my top corner, again, would be Malik Muhammad, and my top safety would be Jalen Kilgore out of South Carolina. As far as who's going to add more to the team or what they would do... I guess this is more of what I would do. But they did just draft Dante Trader Jr. last year in the 5th round, and I feel like they want to probably see what they have in him a little bit more. Corners, I think I just need to go Malik Muhammad. I think that Malik Muhammad adds something adds a little bit more than Storm Duck does, or at least gives you a little element of unknown because you know what Storm Duck is, and that's not a whole lot. So a little snippet on Malik Muhammad. I comped him. Here's a good, I guess, little elevator pitch. A gnat who will not stop buzzing in your ears while you're trying to sleep. The gnat never really hurts you, but it's almost always there. What actually hurts you more is you smacking yourself in the head trying to kill this gnat, and you lose sleep worrying about where this gnat is. He's not that small, but as able to zip around, has good movement skills, and that's what I want in my corners to be able to follow. Malik Muhammad.
All right, the Jags are back up. With the Jags, I've drafted A.J. Halsey at safety and Emmett Johnson at running back. So the two main positions here, we have 2 picks left. I'm looking at maybe getting them another tight end to get on top of Brenton Strange, because his rookie contract, I think, is going to be running out soon, maybe after this year. Then I'd also like to get him another linebacker, because I kind of slapped an A.J. Halsey on to try to help the linebackers out, but they need an actual linebacker to play there. They just trade for Ruka Roro, so I like the interior. Eric Armstead's good. So my top ranked linebacker remaining is Deontay Lawson, and I think that this is a good fit for the Jags. Just a little elevator pitch for Deontay Lawson. I have him written as good in downhill run support and will stand up the running back in the hole, shifty to navigate traffic to get to the play, and decent fumble forcing ability. So I think with Foyce Aluakun kind of playing in coverage and the just middle linebacker, I think that Deontay Lawson can play as the wing and kind of be that downhill exciting guy over there. So I'm going to go with Deontay Lawson here.
Sure.
I am back up with the Chicago Bears, and so far we have got them Kristen Miller, R. Mason Thomas, and Kamari Ramsey. Really solidifying that defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to look at offensive line again, because it wouldn't be bad to add a piece on that side, if not for anything other than depth. Guess I got to think about like a Caleb Tiernan or a Jalen Farmer here. I don't know if there's anyone I like a lot more. Like, really, I already got them as safety, so that solidifies that part of that room. Edge defenders, I got a helper there.
Yeah. Who does that bring them to? So who'd you just draft for them again? Edge,
R. Mason Thomas.
And who they have? Montez Sweat. And who else?
Dio Odehingbo.
Okay. Yeah, they have a better rotation.
Yeah, it's definitely better rotation. I could look at receiver.
They did just get rid of DJ Moore.
Yeah. We'll take a little look-see at receiver here, see who we got available. Skylar Bell, Bryce Lance, Deion Burks. That's probably Malachi Fields, if I want him.
Do they have Luther Burden playing in the slot or outside?
Outside.
Who's in the slot?
Khalif Raymond, they just brought in from Detroit.
Deontay Burks might be able to take him over.
Yeah, in the slot.
Deontay Burks is pretty good in the slot.
Deion Burks?
Oh, yeah, Deion Burks, sorry. Deion Burks, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd only make that better for that offense and Ben Johnson. I think he'd like another piece to add in there. Deion Burks, wide receiver to the Bears.
The Dolphins are back. Again, here we go. Let's read down through. Thieneman, Pons, Bernard, Caden Curry, and Malik Muhammad. Woo. And now I was looking back at the wide receiver depth chart, and we could honestly go there again. Because we have Tutu Atwell, Jalen Tolbert, Malik Washington. Add in there Jeremy Bernard. I like Tutu a good amount. I don't know about like as an every down player. I think he's better than Jalen Tolbert to be your wide receiver 3. We could also go tight end. I was looking at tight end. Greg Dulcich is the number 1 tight end there. Then they have Ben Sims, Jalen Conyers, Cole Turner. You could definitely upgrade there. It's just a matter of who do I. My top wide receiver left would be Caleb Douglas or Jacoby Lane. I see them very similar as the same guy. I like Caleb Douglas and Jacoby Lane, and that would be different than what they have. They're more of like a taller vertical wide receiver. Top tight end that I would draft would be a Joe Royer as like a yak weapon at tight end. And, I mean, I kind of like that addition a little bit. I mean, I guess Malik Washington can do some of that. Maybe we should take that downfield attacking, more vertical wide receiver in Caleb Douglas or Jacoby Lane. So I think I'm gonna do that.
Let Michael Penix sling it.
Yeah, or
Or
Penix.
Tua. Yeah.
Malik Willis.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
Malik
Willis.
Willis.
I'm gonna go Caleb Douglas here. I think it's time. Get some even more wide receiver help.
They're gonna need it.
And now we got the Bills. And the Bills so far in this draft have went with just Cassius Howell. They haven't drafted since the first round. So looking back at their depth chart, could go. They're saying guard because they lost their starting guard, and I did not address it. Could go linebacker because they did just lose Matt Milano, as I was saying.
Yep.
And then safety is another one they set on here. But they just brought in CJ also Geno Stone for whatever that's worth. Cole Bishop did get a little bit better last year. There are a lot of different ways that I could go here. My top linebacker available would be a... Oh, went right past it. Right, where we go? My top linebacker would be Harold Perkins. Ooh. I like Harold Perkins.
You do.
I like him. He's unique. I'm fine with leaving that offensive line as is. They have other options that they could plug in there, like Austin Corbett or Cedric Van Pran Granger, Lloyd Cushenberry if Alec Anderson doesn't work. So I feel better about that than I do about linebacker, where it's Terrell Bernard, who got benched at some point last year, and Dorian Williams, who was not playing last year because Matt Milano was in there ahead of him. So basically, I don't think they feel any better about linebacker either than I do. So I really want to get Harold Perkins into this mock draft because I think he's that good. So I think Harold Perkins, this is a spot here for him. So, man, they really don't like Harold Perkins in this. Overall, 221.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
right, man. He's going 91 for the Bills. And then we got the Dallas Cowboys back up, and the Dallas Cowboys so far have drafted Ruben Bain and Max Ionicher. Pretty fun group there.
Yeah.
So we addressed offensive line. We addressed edge rusher. Right now, their inside linebackers are Shamar, James, and DeMarvion Overshone. Overshone coming back from injury. I guess now it's been a while since he was injured. But I kind of want to go linebacker again. Just sniped myself. And my next linebacker would be Aiden Fisher out of Indiana. Would be next for me. I think that he's just a very high IQ player. And I think that's why Cignetti wanted to keep him with him, coming from JMU, another one of those guys. And I think that I can see why he did that, because he was just kind of all over the place. He's not a good athlete, but the guy just knows where the play is going, and a lot of times he's the first one there despite his lack of athleticism. So we're going to go Aiden Fisher here.
All right. The LA Rams are now on the clock. I've drafted them Monroe Freeling at tackle and Ted Hurst at receiver, and this leaves them two needs with one pick that I'm going to have to decide between. At linebacker, they currently have Nate Landman and Omar Spates. If I were to go linebacker, I would take my top guy in Torian York. He's got a dense build, plays with passion, hot motor, plugs holes. He can play in coverage with a 90.8 coverage grade.
Dang. He is small. He packs a punch.
Yeah, just undersized a little bit. My NFL comp for him is like Buda Baker at linebacker.
Oh, wow. That's pretty high praise.
So I think that would be exciting for this defense.
Yeah.
Or I could go receiver and replace Jordan Whittington, where I would go with the Missouri guy, Kevin Coleman Jr. He's another guy that plays with a hot motor. Limited route tree, but I think that they could use him in an exciting way. I think that Jordan Whittington's actually fine. I think that he's been okay, but I think that these linebackers have been stagnant for too long, and they need to get somebody else in there to spruce things up. So I'm going to go with the excitement in the bowling ball, hard-hitting Torian York.
Sure.
Nice.
The Dolphins are back. Thieneman, Pons, Bernard, Curry, Muhammad, Douglas.
Boom.
Wow.
Hey, their last pick of the day.
We're going to get tired of hearing their name in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They better have a good draft. I swear. Okay. Again, I was just looking at tight end. Could go back there. Could draft a Joe Royer. Maybe draft A guy who I have below him, but a different style, Oscar Delp. A guy who kind of does it all, really betting on potential with him.
I like Oscar Delp.
More so than production. Yeah, I do like that too. Could also go another pass rusher if we wanted to add to that rotation. But
who's their current tight end?
Their current tight end is Greg Dulcich, with basically nobody behind him.
I do like Oscar Delp.
Dulcich is not a blocker. He's more of a receiver. And Oscar Delp, I think, has that potential to really be a do-it-all guy. And I don't think we can let him fall any further than this.
Because
I think he's good. Really think he's a good tight end. Holy crap, where is he? 215. Yeah,
what?
Right.
Yeah.
94. New England Patriots are back up. And earlier in the draft, they went with T.J. Parker and Kyle Lewis. Could go wide receiver. I said that I didn't want to go wide receiver early because they make a lot of guys work, but I feel like they're a Green Bay Packers situation where if you add a wide receiver, you're just adding more of the same mid.
True.
So I don't really want to do that. We didn't go O-line yet, did we? No, we didn't go O-line yet. If we wanted some O-line insurance, just in case, it's never too bad. Never bad to go with too much in the trenches. Could also go corner because they have no depth really behind Carlton Davis, Marcus Jones, and Christian Gonzalez. So it's really just whoever I have available here that I like the most. I like Logan Jones at center, and I think he's really only a center. I don't really want to draft him. I'd rather draft somebody that has a little bit more versatility. So maybe like a Caleb Tiernan, but I really am not that high on him, but we're kind of getting to that point in the draft.
Yeah.
Let's go corner. Dalen Everett would be who I have next, who I like whenever he's playing man-to-man. I think he's stupid in zone coverage. I think he gets kind of dumb. But I think this would be a good guy to learn from Christian Gonzalez. Just like that longer build. He's sticky in coverage. But Dalen Everett definitely still has holes, but he was a starter for like his entire time at Georgia. So he's got the experience. He's seen a lot of football, played a lot of football. So I think I'm going to go Dalen Everett here to get some corner insurance because as Carson said earlier, you can never really have too much corner. So Dalen Everett.
All right, the Seahawks are back on the board. Super Bowl winners. I've drafted them Colton Hood at corner to address the Reek Woolen loss and then denied Dennis Sutton at edge to address the Josh Joby loss. And now to address the loss of K9 and Zach Charbonnet's injury, I just about have my pick of the litter in running backs here. Jonah Coleman is my highest ranked guy at number 4. He's Cody's 4 as well. Kian 7, our consensus 4. I think he would fit well in the zone running scheme. But then there's also Katron Allen, who I think would fit well as well. And these other guys are going to keep falling. I would really like Rasul Faison here actually as well. It's just a reach, but I think his patience would be so good in this offense.
You are the GM.
Yeah.
And I would support you.
Yeah. I think the owner might get pissed whenever he sees I'm reaching this hard for a running back, but
I had Rasul Faison in my top 100 in my big board.
Yeah, I think I am going to go Faison just because the patience is going to be so damn good in this offense. And, I think that, I got to go Faison here over Jonah Coleman.
I love that.
Okay, I am back up with the Minnesota Vikings. So far, the Vikings have got Jeremiah Love, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, and Darrell Jackson Jr. So we got a pretty good array of players there so far. I was kind of looking at possibly some offensive linemen here to add to the mix for just
God bless you.
Thank you.
Just for some depth pieces and maybe even a center. To be honest, I don't know much about said Blake Brandel, center for the Minnesota Vikings.
Not nearly as good as Jake Brendel.
Brothers, huh?
Right.
I don't know actually, but
gotta
no,
be.
Blake is not. He's not the veteran that.
Yeah,
Jake is.
so that's kind of I was kind of looking center. So that'd either be like a Logan Jones,
Be Logan Jones
or a Jake Slaughter. I don't think
Jake
that'd
Slaughter.
be a bad pick to bring in Logan Jones.
I had Logan Jones above Jake Slaughter. What about you, Carson? Who do you have higher?
Jones.
Logan Jones or Jake Slaughter?
Let me check.
Yeah.
I had Jake Slaughter higher.
Okay, well there you go. How much higher? Where did you have? Where are the
I had
rankings?
Slaughter at 19 and Logan Jones at 22.
Okay, I had Logan Jones at 15, and
I mean, I would support Logan Jones because the only thing wrong with him is he's just really short, like short arms, and But he was like debatably the best center this year in all of college football.
There were some people who had him ranked that way.
It's just he's short and people don't believe in him. So depends on how you feel about short arms, I guess.
I think he'll be fine at center, honestly. I'll go with Logan Jones for the Vikings.
The Eagles are back up, and so far in this draft, they've gone with Caleb Lomu, Josh Cameron, and Genesis Smith. So, again, looking back at this team, maybe I go edge here to help out Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, Arnold Ebiketie, Joe Tryon, Shayinka, but then you're just getting a lot of guys in that room.
A lot of mid doesn't make it good.
I know. Could have gone tight end to help Dallas Goedert. I honestly didn't think they were going to bring him back, but they did. Let's just see. I mean, the top guys on this board are Malachi Lawrence. I think he's really a big project. He's an athlete. But I think he's a big project if you're going to try to teach him to play edge. Keontae Scott is a hard-charging, good slot corner.
Yeah.
But you don't really need that whenever you have Cooper DeJean. Skylar Bell is a lot lower than consensus. Bryce Lance would add something if you get rid of A.J. Brown. And Hollywood Brown kind of brings the same thing. Joshua Josephs would be my top edge left available, but like I said, you're just adding a lot of mid to that room. Don't need a running back either. Maybe I will just go tight end, just in case, because Dallas Goedert is getting no younger, and I feel like it was pulling teeth to try to bring him back. I mean, they did just sign him, but let's see. Right now, they don't really have a guy who works the underneath and gets yak. So I kind of lean toward Joe Royer, who would be my tight end number 4 and my next tight end available. And I think that he could add something that they just don't have yet, and a yak ability. So yeah, we're gonna go Joe Royer. Justin Jolie would also add that too, but I had Joe Royer ranked higher, so we're going Joe Royer.
Okay, I'm back up on the clock with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you guys are up for it, how about a pick for the hometown team group project?
Sure.
Here. Okay, so far we've got Vegi Iwane, Chase Bisonis as 2 guards there, Josiah Trotter in at linebacker, and Antonio Williams with the receiver. Here's kind of what I was thinking. And I want to know what you guys are thinking. We'll make this quick, though. I was kind of thinking maybe add in another tackle. A little bit of depth piece.
Like
maybe
offensive tackle?
Offensive tackle. Or we could look, I wouldn't mind getting another corner in there. Just because. Because behind Jamel Dean and Joey Porter, we got Corey Trice Jr. and Asante Samuel Jr. It's not the worst, but if we could maybe get someone else in there too, I would not mind.
Tackle's tough because I think next would be Caleb Tiernan, and he's kind of a non-mover.
Right. That's kind of what I thought, too. That's kind of why I started looking at corner.
Right. Corner next for me, I mean, Keontae Scott, like I said, is a fun slot corner. Who would you have corner, Carson?
Who's in the Steelers slot right now?
Right now, it's Brandon Eccles is slotted there, but Jalen Ramsey can also play there, too.
Yeah.
So you could improve.
Okay, I would like
Keontae Scott.
Is
that how you saw him, too?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I say he wasn't very good at coverage. I think I described him as it looks like he wants to play as a safety, but he's stuck playing corner. So I think he could go to the nickel, and then I'd like Jalen Ramsey at free safety or strong safety or whatever more.
Yeah.
Let me look at my corner rankings to see who my highest available is.
Yeah, I said for Keontae Scott, maybe a mini Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
I think
like a
Keontae
good
Scott
pick,
fits this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keontae Scott's my highest ranked left.
Yeah.
Let's go with Keontae Scott.
I agree. Get someone younger in there that can lay a better.
Agreed.
But he is 25 already.
Sure.
Ooh, okay.
Well,
He turns 25 in August.
Still.
Still.
All right, with pick 100 of the draft, the
Wow.
Jags
How
are
about
on the
it?
board. They've taken A.J. Halsey at safety, Emmett Johnson at running back, and then Deontay Lawson at linebacker. There's a lot of different directions I could go with this pick. I could go with an edge pick to try to spell Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen as I feel they've been underperforming. I don't really want to touch D-tackle because I like Rukaroro there. I could go another corner, or I could get the tight end that I was thinking about getting them. And at this point, I think that Max Clare is a really good deal here.
Yeah.
He's my tight end 3. He's a do-it-all tight end. He can just pretty much make Brenton Strange come in for 12 personnel or passing downs, whatever they want to do. But I really like Max Clare here, so Max Clare is going to be pick 100 for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
How about that?
Wow.
That wraps up our mock draft. 3-round mock draft. I don't know when did
Holy crap.
when did our credibility go out the door?
First round, best draft grades here. Looks like Cody got the four highest grades.
Wow.
Wow.
Crap.
How about that? Got him for the Vikings, Packers, and the Browns.
And the
Ravens.
And the Steelers.
And the Oilers. How about that?
Dang.
Wow. It's probably just based off rankings, which
Oh,
is why
definitely
they
is.
hate me.
Yeah, they hate my picks.
All right, well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, anything else on this one? That was
It was fun.
fun episode.
That was fun.
A very fun episode.
Too bad we can't do that in real life.
I know.
Seriously.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep, like I said, thank you guys for watching this one, one of our favorite episodes of the year, our mock draft. We hope it pumps you guys up and gets you guys excited for the draft coming up this week here. We will be down there. We'll be down in the Berg. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching all of our Draft Brothers episodes. Yeah, we appreciate it. We did more positions this year, added in some more big boys. It was really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you guys think, and we will enjoy the draft.
Yes.
Catch you on the next episode.